No shit.
Hightailed it out of there.
Are you crazy? Don't go between them! Go between them! Are you crazy?
Welcome to my home.
Good morning. It's another glorious Saturday morning. We got a lot of things to talk about. Oh, and this shirt finally came in. So I think I'm going to change out the shirts because this style, even though this was it's nice. It's a nice shirt, but it's like one of the less expensive ones. It took forever because apparently it's super popular because the same style shirt I'm waiting on one of the Christmas ones, my Christmas list. I still haven't gotten that. So there was the customers that have ordered it, they got theirs. So awesome, but I still never got mine. So even though I like the shirt, it's a good affordable price. I think we're gonna have to switch it out because this just took forever. I ordered this back before Thanksgiving. It finally showed up. And I'm mentioning it because it says boob tube, YouTube doesn't like to promote it. Like I can't put a link to it or whatever. They say it's super inappropriate and violates their terms. So I'm promoting it here. You want the shirt, it's down below because boob tube it's what they called the TVs back in the day. So apparently YouTube is offended. Good morning, gentlemen. We have 10 people here this morning. All right, let's get started. We got a lot of things to talk about. And this morning, night 90 at the Living Robert. Morning, brother. Looking forward to night 90 goodness. Yes, it's a hard rumor, solid rumor. I watched the Tom Savini clip of that, and that's in the rumor list. It's definitely in the rumor list. Like it's solid. I just can't find an actual like link to anything other than that interview. And Nightmare on Elm Street goodness as well. Yes, I do have a link to that to Finex site, but there's no artwork up or anything. But it's up there at a good price too. I think like for like 165 euros for that entire set. Like when you translate it to whatever we're gonna pay for it, I don't think it's bad. So looking forward to it. I'm hoping they knock this out of the park with the artwork because with Nightmare on Elm Street, we had a great, amazing box set for the VHS. We have, let's see, where is it? Right there, right over my shoulder. Oh man, I'll move out of the way. No, I went the wrong way. Ha ha ha. There you go. So we have that right there, the DVD box set. That is just really awesome. And then we got the Blu-ray box set, and it's garbage. Like it was just a regular case with all the discs shoved in it, and no real, there's no attention to detail, no artwork. So in this 4K set coming out, I really hope they knock it out of the park. And Blue Corner, yep, Saturday once again. Yes, it is. And Thomas DiCarlo, good morning. Hope everyone had an awesome Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. And let's see, hold on, we got that. And what we have. All right, so the very first thing I wanted to talk about. So I got a lot of everywhere, pretty much everywhere today. I got a lot of stuff going on today. I pretty much have to tear this all apart because I had a plasma like screen here, but then like to make some more room on the desk, and I have this new camera set up, and so this new camera here gave me trouble yesterday. So I have this like whole setup. So I got this like brand new like camera. That's why like the last two videos were pretty nice, but then yesterday this thing overheated in the middle of recording. So I did the video once, and then it overheats, shuts down. I'm like, what the heck is that? Because I had used it a few other times and no issues. And then yesterday's video wasn't that crazy. And then as I get it to come back up, this was a full battery too. And then as I get it to come back up, then I start doing the video, and then it dies, no battery. So I'm like, what the hell? And so I don't know if there's like some kind of setting in there or what I did, or if it really was actually just hot. Because when I bought it, that was the thing, is people were using this thing to live stream. Now I'm using the battery right now, but there's like a pack you can plug in, and you can get to plug it in the wall. And people were using this camera as a webcam to stream like game streams for hours and hours. So I was like, I don't understand what I did. But either way, I ended up recording my video like 3 times yesterday, and then I ended up having to do it over here. So all my stuff is all kind of messed up. I got to figure that out still. But then I have a stand coming because I put this other camera up here to do like a little unboxing station here. And so I moved the printer over where the TV was. And so now I have this stand coming where it's going to go underneath this TV stand and sit behind it and kind of be up above. So instead of being over here on the shelf, it's going to be like right above the TV, which I mean, it's not great, but it's my movie room. And so I have that coming today. So I got a lot of things to do, and I got to tear this room apart. It's just like Saturday's full of stuff today. Plus the movies I want to get through. I think I was a little bit more ambitious for what the day is going to allow. Let's see. What do we got? Thomas says, "That's what you got for all those dolly shots you used in the last video." Yes, yes. Oh man, yeah, that's what it is. That's like all that Star Wars. Whew, it couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it. PD 675, nice. Welcome. What classic TV shows are you excited to buy that you have not got yet? So 100% in January, it's Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. Now I had 1 season of Bewitched and 2 seasons of I Dream of Jeannie. So I never had the complete series. So I'm definitely counting that because I already traded those into the bookstore when this got announced. So the imprint box sets that are coming in January soon, that I'm excited for that. So like that's pretty much where my entire, not June, why did I say June? January. So a couple weeks, that's where my entire pretty much January budget is going. I pre-ordered the Kill Bill and the um Jackie Brown sets, and like I think that's all that I have ordered for December or for January. I keep saying December for January. So yeah, so that's the one that like the major one that I'm like really looking forward to, and then home. I got to get Home Improvement. So I bought that before, but then it shipped. It said it was delivered. I was home all day. FedEx comes here around 6 o'clock at night. It said it was delivered at 9 o'clock in the morning. So basically, when they scanned it in for the morning delivery truck or whatever, they scanned it in as delivered, and then I never got it. And I got it from eBay. So I was always assuming that maybe either they just kind of slapped a sticker on it and sent it on its way. And so it was an open package thing because it was like the big toolbox and it says Home Improvement on it. Or they put it in a box that somebody thought it was something else, and so that I never got my package, and it said it was delivered at like 9 in the morning. I was here all day, and then FedEx did come that day at like 6 o'clock. In the neighborhood, in the area, I saw the truck, but like, yeah, we never got it. And so I have been reluctant to rebuy it because even though I don't think I paid full price for it, 'cause I think it's about like $100 or in that range. I think on eBay, I think I got it for like 50 or $60, but then to also then rebuy it and then spend it. So it just feels like a giant waste. But that's one I would like to get. So I've been actually hoping to find the Home Improvement seasons at the thrift store or the used bookstore, someplace where I can get them on the cheaper end and kind of justify it a little more. So those are the three TV shows that I'm like 100% like I need, and I don't know if I would call like Home Improvement classic, but I guess it is. It's like 30 years old now. Marty, an unboxing slash reveal station would be great. Yes, yes, that was the goal. And then that way because I have the camera set up, I have a whole new light over here. It's this like giant ridiculous thing. And then the camera. So like as I'm sitting in front of the camera, I got the whole thing, so I can do the 2 video. It's just a whole nice thing I'm gonna work on. So yes. Um, and good morning, Brian. Good morning. So yeah, yeah, Brian and I talked before. We're talking about doing like a collaboration video, and I wasn't sure. Like, I'm trying to, maybe we should do it live, but I don't know. We're talking about like is doing our end of the year wrap up, doing the 10 favorite and 10 worst releases of the year, and doing some kind of collaboration. So I don't know if we should do that live or not, but yeah, that's coming like soon. I gotta set aside some time for that. Let's see. PD 675 says, I'm gonna buy the I Dream of Genie from imprint as well. Looking forward to reading that book that they included with it. Yes, yes. I'm looking forward to. I really am. Like those are some classics that I grew up watching. I had later on in high school we had cable, and so then they were on Nick at Night or Nickelodeon. They were like, oh, those shows were always repeated on TV like throughout the summer and stuff. So it wasn't something I had like really grew up with, but then like preteen, mid-teen, like in that early teen years, they were on TV all the freaking time, and so it's just I love them. I love them. And then we had picked up those earlier seasons a couple years ago, and then my youngest daughter really got into them. So then we were just diving back in, but then we haven't found the rest. And then I was kind of reluctant to order them online, and I'm glad I waited because then this kind of came out. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Let's see. Just noticed your never-ending story displayed. Well done finding space. Looks good. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. So originally I was gonna, cause like in the shelf right here, oh, right there. Where I can't do that. There you go. That shelf right there in the middle is all imprint, and so I had originally like made room and tried to have like this whole imprint like section. I was like, there's no way because then I had like piles of stuff that just wouldn't go back on the shelf and all that. But then over here on this end, I did like a whole like my favorite fantasy films. So we have Labyrinth up top, Neverending Story, Legend, Stardust, and then that was just a random shelf for some new stuff that I didn't have space for yet. And and then I had Willow over there. So Willow was over there because the VHS clamshell didn't fit on that bottom shelf. So I gotta rearrange some stuff, and because Willow will go over there, and then it'll be my that is pretty much my top five favorite fantasy films of all time, and they're all kind of nice together. I like it. Let's see. And Petey says, "Do you know where you can buy a TV series called Dark Justice? It doesn't have a proper release, but I want to, even if it's not official." Um, well, that was so tomorrow's video is a whole homebrew conversation video on like how to make them and kind of how to do that. So there's that option. You can just make your own homebrew. But then like there's been quite a few sites where they basically sell like bootlegs or VCR copies or things that were never really official or they didn't have a release. Because there's a show, Just the 10 of Us. It was part of the TGIF lineup. That show is notoriously like super hard to find. There was the music that they used in it apparently has all kinds of like rights issues, and I'm pretty sure Disney either has the rights to it or is kind of involved with it, if I remember correctly. So that's just been just gone off social media or not social media, physical media. It's just been gone for the longest time. But then I remember like after I graduated high school, so in my late teens, early 20s, I remember seeing the reruns on cable. Like USA had them all on all the time. So I was like, I'm not sure, they obviously were able to put it in syndication, but now like home video, it's never had it. It's never had any restoration or anything like that. And so that's a show that people were looking for. And if you go to forums or look, like the only thing available, and there's a few of them on YouTube, somebody's uploaded them, somebody had recorded a lot of those older reruns that were on cable, and then they uploaded them and they put them out. And so there is a guy somewhere, and all I did was I just Googled it, like just the 10 of Us DVDs, and that's how I came across it. I never pulled the trigger, I never bought it, but there is a guy that's selling homebrew kind of bootlegs, recorded off television stuff in DVD format. But then like the just the 10 of Us one, like the first I think two seasons were like not bad. Like we were talking like a couple dollars, $10, like in that range. But then like the third or fourth season was something like 60 or $80. And then that's the one that and when you watch them, they get they get worse because they were recorded on old tapes and like depending on the quality. But then like those ones, they're kind of fuzzy and they're really, really crappy. But that's the one they're charging like $60 or like a ton of money for it. And so like I definitely never pulled the trigger, but something like that, might be. So I would literally just go the bite the bullet and just Google your show and type it bootleg or whatever. And there's definitely quite a few places to get it. So I was like, I'm not condoning that, but they are out there if you want them. It's just a matter of finding them. And if it's an obscure show like that, it's probably going to take a second because that's how I got into like learning how to do the homebrew and like how to do my own because it was becoming more difficult to find stuff. So yeah, there's a video coming out tomorrow about that. That's the one of the things I've been working on for a while. And that was another thing. This printer gave me hell because I was going to do the whole printing your custom covers and connect those two videos together. So that's coming out this week, 100%. I've talked about it before. I said it's been coming out for a while, but it's the printer's been giving me a hell of a time. So I got it. I got it all figured out. It was, uh, you know, I figured it out. What do we got? Michael, morning. I just recently discovered your channel and I really love it. Well, thank you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. This is, yeah, it's just a passion. I've been into movies and physical media for pretty much my whole life, but like actually seriously been buying this stuff for over 25 years. And I just like to talk about it. So that's really, that's all it is, man. It's all it is. I just like to talk about it. My wife was tired of listening to it. So I figured I'd just start a channel. And so like I've been doing this for about 2 years now. And yeah, it's fun. It's a fun ride. Fun ride. But thank you. Appreciate you being here. And Brent Madison, good morning. Picked up the imprint film focus Burt Reynolds. It has a great disc on a separate, has a great documentary on a separate disc. 2020 feature documentary. I am Burt Reynolds. It's not on. It's not on disc otherwise. Oh wow, yeah, I've heard of that documentary. I didn't know that was there. Because that one I hadn't gotten yet, so I definitely want to get that one. And obviously, I talk about it all the time. Huge imprint fanboy, and yeah, that one's on the radar. That one's on the radar. But I did just knock out the Burt box, so that one's probably next because I'm trying to get all those Burt Reynolds films. But oh yeah, yeah, looking forward to that. And I didn't know that you couldn't get that any other way. So that's some great news. Great news. So we have a lot of things to talk about today. We got, I mean, obviously, like, I'm glad everybody's here. I hope everybody had a great holiday and going into 2025. There is so many things, and we've already had like a lot of conversation. The new releases for January, February, stuff in March. We've talked about it. Then all the stuff that rumors are flying around. But I think 2025 is going to be one killer year for physical media and like movies and just putting stuff out on the 4K and things that have never been out before. I really suspect that we're just going to get blown away for 2025. Like a lot of people are going to be complaining about hurting on their wallets and stuff. It's just I think that it's going to be a real good year. Just it's starting off so good, and I want to start off with talking about this is before I do, we have the rumor mill, and I had that at the end, but we might as well talk about it right now. So the Nightmare on Elm Street, that was the rumor. It got leaked. I don't know if it's like supposed to be leaked or whatever, but on the Fnac website here, and that's out of France. And I have some Fnac stuff, and I order stuff from France all the time, but never directly through Fnac. But you can, like, they will ship. They'll ship to America. You just change all the stuff, and you order it. Because I just found out my Leon, the newest steelbook I got there. There's a super deluxe edition from Fnac, and it's that steelbook. And I wish I knew because I would have just bought that. And so it's that steelbook, and then it comes with like all this extra stuff, a book, and then like an actual vinyl record. And so it comes with that, and so I'm like, I freaking need it. And yeah, that's on the Fnac website. So I found that while trolling through this. So we have, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, and I don't think it's a bad price here. Let's share the screen. Let's see. So it's 165 euros. Honestly, I don't know what that transfers over to US dollars, but it's in that ballpark. So you're getting the whole entire set, a Nightmare on Elm Street collection, Blu-ray, 4K, Ultra HD. The unfortunate thing is there's no art, no placeholder art, nothing there. But like I said earlier, I think, oh, let me change this. I hate when I'm up there. Let's see. Yeah, so for me, the only thing is the art, and I'm hoping that we're not getting screwed like we did with the Blu-ray box set. I think I want like a nice box set and like something comparable to like the Friday the 13th box set or something in there. Like I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what the plan is, but I'm hoping they knock this out of the park because had never bought that Blu-ray box set. I only had this DVD's set there, and then the first Nightmare on Elm Street on Blu-ray, and that's all I ever had until the new 4K came out. And so it's something that I completely passed on just because artwork alone, and I hated the box. I thought it was dumb, just a Blu-ray thing. So yeah, I think I want them to knock this out of the park, but really looking forward to this one. That's a day one pre-order. It looks like it's coming out in September. So yeah, that's something that's going to be a huge, huge thing for me. Day one, 100%. And depending on the different versions, I might double dip like I did with the other Nightmare on Elm Street set. Whether on purpose or accident. That was an accident. But now, like, depending on like the whole big box set, depending on how the artwork is all over the world, I might double dip, or I might just get a foreign version like I do sometimes. But then we have one, two, three, four, five solid rumors that I have no real links to except for the Twitter posts from Dawn of the Disc. And so I looked for other like solid, so they're solid rumors. And I definitely, obviously, Dawn of the Disc comes very highly, highly trusted and never let us down. But I do like to verify through like other forums and other stuff. And so there's some of this stuff I was not able to find anywhere else. So let's see, what do we got? Let's see, Dawn of the Disc. Why did you type in Dawn of the Disc and I guess into some kind of like stock thing. All right, here we go. So Dawn of the Disc. Let's share this. All right. And I did find, well, one of the forums I did find. So I was like, and I grabbed some of my copies here because then as these have been announced, these are going to get higher on the priority of rewatching these. Because I was like, do I need to upgrade? Because like 2025, I've said before, is the year of the upgrade. I meant to do it last year, but so much good stuff was coming out that I kind of lost focus because I have over 200 DVDs that I would love to upgrade to Blu-ray or maybe get rid of because that they don't get watched as often because where they are in the house. So let's see, switch this. Okay. There we go. Switch it. All right, sharing that content there. And so this one here, we have, Ray, I forgot to add that in. So coming soon from Kino Lorber, Ray. That was a pretty decent film. I don't have it anymore. I did have it on DVD before I joined the Navy, and I just don't have it since I joined the Navy. So there's that one. But obviously we have the solid rumor here with the FINAC website. So that's pretty solid. And I do like that older art. Love it. Obviously Amadeus, we've talked about that. The Silent Partner, I just picked that up on Blu-ray from Kino, so they're doing the 4K now. We're talking about that too. All those rumors. So here we go. Dark City was the first one. So this one here, Dark City, and that's the original artwork. That's what I remember when it was in the video rental store. That's what I remember. But this is what we had for the Blu-ray art, and I actually, maybe I'll make me bigger. Let's see. So this is what we had for the Blu-ray art for Dark City, and I absolutely love it. I put it in the clear case because I think that just looks sharp because it did have the Blu-ray case, and that was stupid. But then that was your interior art on that. This is one of the earlier Blu-rays, but I love the movie. I think it's great. I just haven't revisited it in like a year or two, and so before I try to jump on that 4K, I'd like to revisit this and see where I stand with it. It's a beautiful movie. Like, I mean, it's not for everybody. It's not everybody. This movie is not for everybody at all. My wife absolutely hates it. And I know a lot of people could not get into this one. But the way it's shot, even that opening scene, I think has the potential to look amazing on 4K. So more than likely, I'm grabbing this one. But the point of rewatching these ones is, are they day ones? Like that's probably the point of it. And then a couple of them here. Bring It On, like got announced. I don't know if that's going to be a day one, but this one, it's probably up there. So we're going to revisit it anyway. So there's that one. That's a solid rumor. And I don't know how I feel about it because I like that original artwork and I like when stuff comes with it, but I like this too. And if it's coming out of Kino, we're not getting this probably. We're just going to get the plain regular cover. So that's another thing to think about. But then the next couple things that I'm really excited for is solid rumors, and then we have links to some of that stuff is in here, and we have Black Sheep and Tommy Boy. Now, I like Black Sheep. I think it's great. It's obviously I have it in the collection. I don't know if that's going to be a day one for me, but Tommy Boy 100% is going to be a day one. This is one of my all-time favorite Farley films. I mean, there's a couple that I really enjoy, but then this one here, I think is absolutely top notch. So this is one of my all-time favorites. Black Sheep, probably right after it. I mean, it's high up there, definitely high up there on the list. So we have those coming out. So we have Kino Lorber's putting, I think, up both of them coming out in March. We got Black Sheep coming out, and Tommy Boy. No, it looks like Tommy Boy might be a studio release because that was the original art on the steelbook and on the Blu-ray I saw, or the 4K I saw, has this same art. So I don't think we're getting anything extra or special or anything new. We're getting the same art we had for the Blu-ray releases and the steelbook release. So I think the price point I saw on it was pretty solid. That was like $25, a far cry from that ridiculous thing that Disney put out with Willow. Because well, I thought it was a great 4K. The fact that we got no new special features, there's no options here in America. You can only get the steelbook. Like the price was just ridiculous. So these, I think I saw the price around $25. I think that's really on point for what they are, especially if you're just getting a 4K and it's probably going to be just an upscaled scan. I haven't really read any details on it. So looking forward to it. That one's a day one for me. We got that. And then, let's see, was there anything else in the rumor mill? No, stuff to talk about, but I have links for everything else. All right. That says, I've been collecting for 20 years and I've been looking to this week. Nice. 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 Today's exchange rate, 65 euros is $100. Yeah, so I think that's a if it's a solid set, like if it's just like we got Blu-rays where it's just a Blu-ray case with all the discs there and or even two discs like a little no, if there's individual discs, it's a nice set. I think it's a fair. I obviously have to see the final results of what we're going to get, but right now that's not the worst thing. I mean, obviously, would be a solid price, and then you see the European version. So what we America is going to be different, and maybe price tag. So that's another thing. I'm excited for it. I'm hoping that they knock it up. Blue Corner says red, but I would be way more own if we got Walk the Line on 4K. Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good one. And now, I do have the Blu-ray and I have the soundtrack somewhere, so that's a good movie, and I'd pick that one up day one. That's the thing. I like Ray, and I think that's one that I just pick up the Blu-ray at a thrift store or something. I don't think that would be a day one purchase for me, or maybe it was on sale. Maybe that's where I would get Ray because I never owned it. I don't have it in the collection. Like I remember having it back when DVD was new. Then I joined the Navy, and then when I got out of the Navy, I lost that whole collection, and then yeah, I never rebought it. So yeah, pretty much where I'm at with that. Thomas DiCarlo, bring it on. Oh, it's already been brought. Yes. Nice. Tommy Boy is a must for me. Only have it on VHS at the moment. Oh yeah, it's an absolute must. And that one, I don't remember when the Blu-ray came out. I don't think it was like that long ago because I feel like Tommy Boy was one that I was waiting for, and I was like, for something about it. I mean, let's look it up right now. Let's see, because there was something about it that I just kind of feel that it didn't come out like not that long ago, or I was waiting on it. Because like that one and Hudson Hawk was another one that I was like, I knew that I was like, I wanted the Blu-ray, and then it finally just showed up like just a few years ago. Tommy Boy, the Holy Schnikey edition. So I can't, yeah, February 2017. So not that long ago. And then the steelbook and the steelbook and that other Blu-ray, this other Blu-ray was released in 2022. So yeah, not that long ago. So maybe I missed on the 2017 one, and that's when I picked up the 2022. That's why I feel like it was just not that long ago that I grabbed this one. Yeah, but that's gonna be a day one. That's a must. All right, what do we got? Let's see. And Andrew, good morning. Good morning. Love the channel. I already would love to see a 4K of the Shadow. Uh, really? Oh yeah, Yeah, that would be good. A 4K release of The Shadow. Be great. It's a good one. I like that movie. So, yeah, that's oh man, The Shadow, The Phantom would be great too. Let's see. Night 90 says, I want some John Candy goodness. Oh yeah, me too, brother. So like all that stuff, like obviously Uncle Buck, those are gonna be day ones. There's some obscure John Candy stuff too, but like I just picked up Wagons East on DVD about a year ago, and I've been waiting to watch it. My wife said she didn't like it. I had never seen it, and so that's one I had put off. Pretty much, he passed. Like that was the last movie he was working on, so I haven't seen it. I found it at the thrift store, or used bookstore, or something. It was still sealed, so I have that, and I have this giant pile of DVDs that I have to get through. So that's the plan for 2025. Is going through all of my DVDs. I have about 500 of them. So I'm going through every single one that I haven't seen before, or I don't, I know that doesn't have a Blu-ray copy, and I'm keeping until we get a Blu-ray copy and I've seen before. So I have those. So really, I've whittled it down to just a couple hundred that I have to knock out and rewatch. And am I keeping it? Am I upgrading and stuff like that? Because in that about 500, I have probably close to 300 of them that have a Blu-ray or at least a 4K, something something better than the DVD. So I'm trying to rewatch that, and so the focus every day for me is obviously some of this rewatching this stuff that's going to get released, but like every single day I'm watching a VCR tape and one of the Blu-rays that I have to get through, and then I also picked up like this small anime collection. There was so they've been trying to get me into anime forever, and I like some of the live action stuff, but I haven't really gotten into all the anime. And there's a few things I liked, like I liked Afro Samurai, but then there was a sale on this like store that was selling all this anime stuff. So I just literally stocked up. I just loaded up with like things that came highly recommended, some of the cheapest stuff available. And so I have this like probably 30 anime things, some movies, but a lot of the TV shows. So it's a daunting task to try to get through that because my daughter was getting into anime, but then we watched some Studio Ghibli thing, and there was the people turned into pigs, and she has a mental issue with people turning into pigs because you eat bacon, and she goes, I don't want to eat people, and so like she won't watch that now, and so that right there put her off on the anime altogether. So I just kind of put a pause on it last year, but now I brought it all downstairs, so I have that pile. So every single day, knocking out one anime, one VCR tape, and these one DVD minimum. And so that's a on top of trying to make videos and do everything else. So it's a big task I have ahead of me. And that's one thing I kind of skipped over it this morning. So this is what I'm watching today, and it's a sure thing. So I only had it on the VHS, and this is just a classic movie. So it's a great Saturday afternoon film. And so my Saturday afternoon recommendation, if you've never seen this one, just a classic story. So John Cusack and what's her name there? They're friends, and they go on this road trip because he's going to go across country to sleep with this chick. And along the way, he realizes he really likes this chick. So this is just a really fun one from the 80s. And yeah, I only ever had it on the VHS, but as I rewatch these, it's just kind of nice because the way I have this whole setup, if I'm sitting here working on a video, I have a TV here hooked up to this VCR so that I could watch anything on the VCR tape. So that kind of works out, but all the rest of it, I actually have to be, completely free, no phone, no nothing, sit down and kind of really laser focused on it. So the VCR one is on the easier task. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of John Candy stuff. A lot of stuff coming out. The Shadow. Let's see. Wagons East. What do we got? Wagons East. Wagons East is a bad watch if you know stuff happening backstage and the fact that he died filming it. Yeah, that's why I put it off. It's one of those things. It's really why I put it off. But like I picked it up, and like I never saw it back then. Like so I've never seen the movie ever. But like because of everything that happened, and then he died with that, and then the trailer just kind of never looked good for me. So I was just like, I never thought it was a me movie, even though I'm a huge John Candy fan. So I've completely put it off forever, and so I'm gonna get through it soon. Like 2025, it's in the pile of movies I have to get through. But yeah, I'm kind of expecting to not be a fan or maybe a one and done thing. What do we got? Quietly Games. Good morning. First time here. Nice. Well, thank you. Welcome. So those are the things that I'm trying to get through there. And then as far as like obviously not rumors, so on top of the rewatches, I'm trying to find out where they are day one. So obviously Jackie Brown for me, 100% day one. That was announced, and that's coming out. So that's coming out in January towards the end of the month, and so that's already on pre-order, 100%. And I have the standard version. I didn't get the steel books because I'm not a steelbook collector anymore. If you're new here, but I don't mind getting them if they're my top 25 favorite films of all time. And but at the same time, like I don't have to get them. The only two things that I do collect 100% are Leon and The Fifth Element. I collect every single version of those movies all over the world as best as I can. And there's a ton of them that are holy grails now that are crazy expensive. But with Jackie Brown, I love the film. It makes my top 25 and probably like my number one favorite Tarantino film of all time. But that one, I'm getting the standard version. I like it more than I like the Steelbook. But the Kill Bills, I love these movies, but I don't know if they're going to be day ones because I have such a big purchase with the imprint stuff, with the Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie, and that's a good part of my budget. So I'm rewatching these like this week to see if they, because I have them on pre-order right now and I have them on pre-order through Amazon. So these are easy to cancel if I decide they're not day one for me. But I do love the films. I absolutely love them, and I like the artwork that we're getting with this. So this is fun because I like yellow. So that's pretty much the only reason I've always loved this one. But other than that, if this was any other color, I would not love this art. And so I'm glad what we're getting in the new 4Ks. So looking forward to that. What do we got? Night 90 says, I sold a bunch of DVDs back in the day and I regretted it. I've been rebuying things like crazy just because something comes to Blu ray or 4K. Don't get rid of the DVD. It's part of history. Very true. And there's, I don't keep everything, but in my top 25 of my favorite films of all time, I keep multiple versions. I don't have to have every single version, but if I already owned it, I don't get rid of it. But then if it's in my top 100 favorite films, I don't mind having a multiple to like if it's on VHS, like I'll keep the VHS because the way I can watch it in different rooms, but I don't have a problem getting rid of a DVD or a Blu-ray if I upgrade. So that's where I stand with that. But top 25 favorite films of all time, I have a hard time part of it, and I'm pretty much not gonna. Let's see. Quietly Game says, glad Final Destination is getting a 4K transfer in 2025. Hopefully the rest will follow in 4K. Yeah, that is the thing because and I just picked up the because I had some random ones on DVD and I think I have the first one on VHS. And so I didn't have the entire collection, but I just picked up the five movie collection on Blu-ray and I'm not thrilled with the way the package is. Like I don't mind because when I watch those films I kind of binge watch them. So I didn't mind as much, but I literally just picked up that Blu-ray. So I'm just like, oh man. But glad that it's coming out. But yeah, I'll pick that up. But that one might not be a day one. It all depends on what comes out that month. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I do hope they knock out the rest because those were just fun films. Let's see. Do you have any of the Ignite film releases? I think I'm snagging their Reanimator. It's only their third release, but I love the movie and I would love to support a small business. Yeah, that's something that's very new. I was like, I saw the Reanimator stuff and I didn't even know they existed until then. And so, yeah, that's something. I don't have anything yet, but yeah, I'm interested in the Reanimator set. I have it on, I think Arrow Video. I have Reanimator already. So it's one that I don't love. Like, I think it's good. I think it's a really good film, and I like to revisit it at least once a year. But like as far as like zombie body horror, anything like that, it's not the like high on my list. But it's a really enjoyable film. And my only gripe about the Ignite thing is the case. I just think they just missed the mark by not making the case the green color of the liquid. Like that, yeah. I think it would have been perfect at that point. But can't fault them for doing it. They're new. It's great. What they're doing is great. It looks awesome. So I was like, I guess I can't complain too much. But yeah, I was like, I think the colored case would have been just a home run. Home run. Let's see. Blue Corner says, I'm both a martial arts and Tarantino, yet for some reason I've never been able to get into the Kill Bill movies. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I loved them from day one, but like they're not they're not my number one favorite. I know that they're they're loved films. Like if you go to talk about them, like um, pretty much people that are not movie people get into Kill Bills. So I could see where you're coming from because of mashing up those two genres, like if you have like super love for like Asian cinema, kung fu films, martial arts, any of that stuff, and then Tarantino, I could see how somebody could like maybe look at this like almost like it's a I don't know, I don't want to say that. That's kind of goofy. I don't know. Never mind. I could see where you're coming from. Let's see. What we got. Andrew says, looking forward to Kill Bills and Jackie Brown on 4K. I hope they release the Hateful Eight on 4K soon. Yeah. Now that one absolutely looks amazing on Blu-ray because of the way it was shot and all the stuff. So I am looking forward to a 4K because I don't have it anymore. I had the version, but it was like some weird thing, and I watched it for the very first time. Playing, it was fine. It had no issues, and then I went to rewatch it, and then there was like a bubble or something into it, or it was like expanding, like it was something weird. It was like it was a manufacturer defect, and so like the middle of the movie just kind of stopped and didn't play, and then I could skip over like a good 15 minutes of the movie, and then it would start playing again, and so I got rid of that, and then I'm hoping that we get a 4K soon because that whole stuff with the Weinstein and everything that he owned, I guess, is now the rights are going back to the people, and there's that conversation. So maybe it's coming. I don't know. But then there's this Nova Media release, and it's out of print now. So it's on eBay. I think it's about like $50. And so I'm tempted to get that version because they did like a whole release with steel books and slip covers and like slip box sets. But then there was one of them. It's in a red box, and it's just a regular standard Blu-ray, but it's still like $50. And so I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'll get that. So I need to rebuy it, but then if a 4K comes out soon, then I'm like, I didn't need the Blu-ray. So it's one of those things I've been kind of holding off again, but it's a really good movie. I hope it comes sooner than later. But yeah, that's a good one. And Brian says Lethal Weapon 4K has a date May 20th. Nice, nice. That is a day one. I was like, I haven't seen that one yet, but I haven't seen the date on that, but yeah, May 100% day one. It's probably like depending on what else comes out, I mean, that's gonna be a number 1 and a must buy for me, but I was like, it might be, like, the only thing I grab in May at that point. Night 90 says, "I love all the Final Destination movies." Oh, yeah, yeah. I was like, "They're great." I think they're just really good Saturday afternoon films. I think the first one's top notch, and a lot of times in those franchise type films, especially like, you know, what would be considered horror or even slasher, if anything in that kind of genre, there's weaker of the bunch, and I kinda I might marathon them or binge watch them at a certain point, but then there's certain movies that I just love to revisit all the time. When I watch, the Final Destination movies, I like to watch them all, and then that's it. Like, and then I revisit them, the following year and stuff. So I do like to do a binge fashion, and even if I don't watch them all in one sitting, in like a week's period, I watch one a day. I like to knock them out that way. But yeah, I think they're all fun. I think they're all fun, and like, if I sat down, I'm like, oh, this one is not as good as the other one. But the fact that I kind of watch them all in a story, yeah, I'm into them. I'm into them. Let's see. Quiet Game says, I see you have the imprint films of Hero or imprint film of Hero. I need to definitely pick that one up. Yeah, I don't know. That one might have been one that they're low on stock on that one, so you might have to check it out on eBay. Pull that up anyway. Because I was like, I saw that when I was checking out the stuff going out of print. That might have been on the list because that was one I wanted to talk about today too. Is the Shout Factory going out of print stuff? Let's see, selling fast. No, it doesn't seem to be on there selling fast. For some reason, I thought it was. Let's see, Hero. Oh yeah, Hero's out of stock on Imprint's website. So that's something that you might have to try to check out on eBay at this point. Yeah, it's out of stock now. That's one thing about Imprint is, man, stuff is so good. I love it. I'm a fanboy. I'm a fanboy. And are you picking up Deep Blue Sea on 4K from Arrow? 100% day one. That is a must buy. And I only had it on VHS for the longest time, and then the regular Blu-ray, and or no, I just picked up the regular Blu-ray this year, and so it was a huge upgrade going from VHS. But man, I was like, this is a day one purchase. I love the art. I love Arrow, and it wasn't that the Blu-ray, I should have had it in the collection a lot longer or a long time ago, but it's a movie my wife doesn't like. Every time I watch it, she complains. She also is not a huge fan of Sam Jackson, so it's like one of those things that she also complains that it's a Sam Jackson film, and it's one I love. I love it. And the thing is, she likes Jaws. And I was like, I think Jaws is fine, but I love Deep Blue Sea, and I like it a lot more than Jaws. So I found myself just watching the old VHS in this room on this old CRT TV and being happy with it. I really, was just fine and happy. And then I picked up the Blu-ray this year, and I absolutely love it. So watching it downstairs on the big screen TV, it was just a fun experience, just revisiting it that way. But yeah, 100% day one. I love the box art. I'm not too keen on the art for the cover, but it's okay. I mean, the color scheme is fine, but the actual box art, I'm super into it. So yeah, that's a day one purchase, and obviously I love the movie. Yeah, 100%. We got that. All right. So then the going out of print shout stuff. Talk about that real quick. Let's see. So there's a few things here that I've had on my radar for a while, but then at the same time, when stuff goes out of print, now there's this new conversation, and I've seen it. I've seen people commenting on it. I've seen some big YouTubers commenting on it, and some small YouTubers. Like, there's the conversation is all over the place on this. So when studios and companies, when they go out of print here, and then another company picks up the rights to that version of it, and they just kind of switch it, and so then we've seen it. There's been several releases of quite a few movies, even recently, and we're not talking going from Blu-ray to 4K. We're talking going from Blu-ray to Blu-ray or 4K to 4K, like the same, pretty much the same thing with a different package. Because there's quite a few imprint titles I have over there that got new releases, and I just stayed with the imprint. They were done on a 2K or a 4K scan already, and it looks amazing on Blu-ray. So there was no need to upgrade. So there's this conversation about these imprint or going out of print stuff. Are they going out of print because they lost the rights? They done with it? Is another company going to be picking them up, or is the 4K coming out soon? And so there's that conversation. So the obviously JFK 4K is a 4K, but that's one that I would definitely pick up, that I've had on my radar. So that one I'll probably pick up. But Poison Ivy, I haven't pulled the trigger on it. I love the movies. I haven't seen them since the 90s though, and or I don't even think I've seen all of them. I know I've seen the first two at least, and probably the one with Alyssa Milano. But yeah, those are movies I haven't seen in so long that I've kind of put it off. And then as I get it now, so that's like $50. What if a 4K is coming out, and or what if I don't have to buy all of them, and what if I could just buy the one I like? And so there's that conversation. Do I rush to get this, and then in a month or two, or within 6 months, are we getting another company releasing this? And so there's that conversation, and I see both sides of the conversation, and at some point I'm like, I can see where people get angry if Shout puts these out of print, and then within the year these same movies get put on 4K. That's kind of crappy. And then the same thing is if another company just picks these up, they repackage them, it's about the same price, you didn't lose out, it's whatever. So if you rush out to buy this, it's fine. The only time that I've appreciated when that's happened is when something sells out super fast, and then within a year or two, another company picks it up. And so that right there has been pleasant and a nice experience. But if you're trying to grab these because they're going out of print, and you got that FOMO thing going on, and then one of the other companies puts it out, or Kino's going to put it, like, it's one of those, it's like a slap in the face, kind of. So I was like, I don't know where I really sit on that conversation, but it's being had specifically with these things going out of print. But Poison Ivy, that's one that I have on my radar. I might pick it up, but it's one of those things I was like, I don't know if another company is going to be putting it out anytime soon. I know a lot of people were into The Missing. I actually didn't like that one. But there's quite a few things in here. The WKRP in Cincinnati, I haven't seen that since I was a kid, and I don't really remember the shows all that much, but I remember that opening theme song. Um, yeah, there's some things in here I'd probably pick up, like sat through this one here, the Traveler and Telling Lies, the American, the double feature here with Kevin Bacon. I'd probably pick that up. So I mean, there's a few things, and obviously there's only just a second page today. Let's see, not too bad. So nothing huge to stand out. It would probably be that Poison Ivy one would be the big thing for me. So oh, and Biloxi Blues. So if you're trying to collect all the Shout Select stuff, Biloxi Blues, it's not a bad film with Matthew Broderick. He's in the army and he's traveling. It's a decent film, not a bad film at all. But I didn't have it. It wasn't a day one for me. We got that, and then what do we got? Thomas DeCarlo says, "I'm very biased. I'm a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan. I have continuing collection. I have continuing collection of first prints because I'm cool." Yeah, yeah. Let's see. We got that. And then, so we talked about the sales. We talked about the Kill Bill. So here's Kill Bill, and so I do have this on pre-order right now through Amazon. But like I said, if it's after I rewatch it, if it's not a day one, or and it would be a day one because I love the film. It would be like I have to be like as I'm watching, I'm like, it's not as sharp, it's not as clear on my 4K TV. It really needs a 4K, and then it's when you look at Kill Bill 1 and 2, you look at them as one film. Like you're not watching one without the other, I feel like. So for me, it's a pretty big investment to watch one film, time-wise. So that's another issue. Is it a day one? But I absolutely love the artwork on here. So for me, I think that's top notch, and I love it. I'm not going with the steel books. If I get them, that's what I'm getting, and it's showing it without a slipcover. So I don't know if they're ditching it, but somebody's commented a few times telling me that slipcovers are going away because I always mention how on standard releases I just don't care the slipcovers. I got a box back here that the slipcovers go in, and so that's something to note. It's a picture without a slipcover, so maybe it's not coming with one, and that might bother some people, but it doesn't bother me necessarily. But the one thing that I love, and Lionsgate's been doing this for a while, but the big ugly banner, I absolutely hate it. And so in here, the big ugly banner is right here. It's like it's not. So it says 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. It's in this tiny little bit, which kind of blends in with the background. I think they don't need it. Like, just put out the movie. If you're gonna throw some extra crap in there, put that stuff on the back. Like, I don't need it. But that is a million times better than that big ugly banner. So I've been very happy with that version of it. So that's one I'm getting. Or I have my radar on. I have my eyes set on that one. And then we have Kill Bill 2. So I think I like Kill Bill 2's art a little bit better. Let's see. Share the screen. So and this is the other one that I have on pre-order. So I think I like that art a little bit better. That's what I'm going with. And then here again, they put it in a just off to the side. They have the right here off to the side. They have the information for the 4K. That's so much better than the big ugly banner. Could you imagine if they had that gray box to covering this whole thing to say that crap? Ah, it's frustrating. But I'm glad. I like what they did. I think it's real sharp. Got that. But this one, no matter what, is the 100% day one order. Where's this? Day one pre-order. But then even this, like I'm not the biggest fan. I like the color schemes because those oranges and the yellows. Um, Big fan of the Jackie Brown, like the movie, but the cover art, I don't know if I'm into it. So it's one of those things that I think it'll be fine. I like the movie, but I think I like this more than I liked the Steelbook. So, and I like yellow, I like brown. I mean, the oranges. I like the color schemes in here, but the actual art, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's something I don't know. It's just maybe because it's so different. And I always ask for different art, so I was like, I don't want to be nitpicky and complain about it. But for some reason, I love the Kill Bill stuff. That one's just not hitting with me. But it's 100% day one because I love the movie so much. Let's see. Heroes on Orbit at the moment. Get it. It is beautiful. Yes. Yeah. Get it. If you can get it, get it. But yeah, imprint it sold out on their website. Thomas says, Wifey should love Deep Blue Sea if she isn't a Sam Jackson fan. Oh, yeah, I know. She points it out like all the time. Like if Sam Jackson dies in a movie, she chuckles and says it's a good movie at that point. But other than that, yeah, she's not a fan. Not a fan. Orbit has the fastest speed ever. They're great. Yes, Orbit's great. Orbit. I use them. I use Diabolic. I use Deep Discount. But also like Deep Discount has like an eBay store too. Like I've ordered stuff out of eBay, not even realizing, and then it showed up with like the Deep Discount like sticker on it or something. So that's pretty cool. 990 says, I'm like you. My wife hates most of my stuff I enjoy, but what can you do? Very true. Very true. Yeah, I think like I've mentioned a few times, and there's been people in the comments that have similar things where I'll be watching a film that I really love, or I'm like, hey, let's watch this movie together, and she's on her phone scrolling. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. But that's why I was like, that's why I'm here, guys. That's why I'm here because my wife doesn't care. I want to talk about movies. Brian says, I have those Poison Ivy Blu-rays. If you have the DVDs, you might be fine. I'm making a video about it soon because I noticed an issue with the first Poison Ivy Blu-ray. Oh wow. Oh, good to know. Good to know because I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah, so it's something that's been on my radar and I wanted to get. So I think I'll just keep it because I just have the first Poison Ivy. I don't have all of them. But yeah, that's something I wanted to get. But yeah, I think thanks. I can't wait for your video. Lee and CG face or G, I say CG. Lee and GC face the movies. Good morning. Good morning. Quietly Games. Will you be purchasing the Substance 4K? Yes. Yes, I will be. I finally watched it, and man, it's something. I was like, it's one of those. I think I have to have it, but I was like, I don't know how often I'm going to revisit it. But I think it's like a must for the library. I think. Where is it? Let's see. And the Jackie Brown art sure does make it 70s. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it does have that vibe. Like that part I'm not kind of complaining about. It's just I don't know. Just it for some reason I think the other ones just nailed it and then that one I don't know and I don't know what I wanted out of it, but yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think like not even like a specific scene of the movie. Like I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe like if she was sitting at the desk, sitting at like Ordell's desk, at that part, or like or not Ordell's desk. Like she was sitting at the desk, or she was like, I don't know. I wouldn't even. I'm not an artist. I just know that I'm like, it's not my favorite. Nice. I convinced you to watch The Substance. Yes, Arthur. Yes. Yes, convinced me to watch The Substance. It's something. It's good, but it's like it sticks with you. It sticks with you. So we got that. We got the talked about the stuff in January. All right, February is coming out. There's a few things we've already talked about it, but this is something new. And the only reason I'm interested in it is this company here, Culture Shock Releasing, doesn't have a ton of stuff out there, but clearly they're cult stuff. And this 100%, I think I saw maybe both of them, but I think I saw at least one of them on like one of those like Rhonda Shear Up All Nights. On it was on USA back in the '90s. I used to watch that, and so this movie here, Assault of the Party Nerds and Assault of the Party Nerds 2 on Blu-ray. Now, clearly, these are just cheesy, schlocky, raunchy comedies, and they were on late at night. I really don't even remember them, but I remember I remember watching Assault on the Party Nerds at some point. So it was like one of those two, and I'm pretty sure it was on Up All Night, and then that's probably where I saw it. So this one here, Late Night Classics, 100%. It's on my radar. I don't know if I'm going to grab it, but I want to support them. It's a company I haven't even heard of before, and I looked in. They only have they have a handful. They have a good size amount of releases, but it's something I never heard of. So Culture Shock, you got the double feature here. I'm not a huge fan of the double features usually, but the fact that it's 1 and 2, I would definitely accept it. And it looks like it's coming with like some slipcover or slip box set because then because this was what I saw too, and so it's like maybe that's just the slipcover. So something very interesting. that I would definitely I would grab this. So February, if there's not a ton of stuff coming out in February, that might just be a fun blind buy just to pick it up. But as I go in, they only have 2 pages, and so everything here looks like it's just a cult classic type film, something that not everybody's into. But yeah, definitely checking it out. Let's see, is there anything I even recognize other than the assault on the party nerds? There's nothing there I recognize at all. So yeah, that one's on my radar. It comes out in February. And we have so we talked about Tommy Boy, that stuff. Now this one here, Best Defense. Now I don't know if you guys have seen this one. This is a very very obscure Eddie Murphy film, and I don't love it. I don't love it, but I love the artwork on it. And it's obviously we're talking about because somebody might love this film. Now this is just it's a wartime comedy, but there was something about it. Like I remember when I watched it, it didn't really hit with me where like all the other Eddie Murphy films, and it's probably why like most people don't ever talk about it. Like I never hear anybody mention this film, but it's getting a 4K release, or it's getting a Blu-ray release in March, and so it's called Best Defense. I thought I already pulled it up as I'm sitting here talking, rambling. I thought I was already pulling it up and showing you guys. So this one here starred Dudley Moore and Eddie Murphy, but then stamped on it, and that's how it's portrayed. Like when the movie first starts, like it comes up in like big letters, and it says something like strategic guest star Eddie Murphy. And so he's guest starring in this, and they say it's strategic. And so like I always kind of felt like that's something you would think you would see in like a spoof movie, but it's not a spoof movie. It's just a standard comedy. And so I feel that like that label of strategic guest star Eddie Murphy was just because they wanted people to see the film and they knew it was going to be crap or something. Like that's kind of just how I feel about it. But as I watch it, it's a comedy. It's got some funny moments, but it never stayed with me. And it's one that it was a one and done, easily a one and done. And I'm sure you could probably find this on streaming. I've never seen this ever out in the wild as a kid. Like, I never saw it in store shelves. Even as an adult, like going to thrift stores and used bookstores, I've never seen this one. So it's one that probably fell under most people's radars. But it's over. It takes place like it's over in Kuwait, and Eddie Murphy, he's in the army, but then Dudley Moore is like an engineer that's designing parts for this like super tank. But then he's really a crappy engineer, and then there's like some espionage stuff going on where there's this guy that was going to sell some stuff to the KGB, but then what did he do? And then somehow Dudley Moore gets the stuff, but Dudley Moore was crap, and his everything he makes is garbage. So then he took the credit for the thing that was supposed to go to the KGB. It's this whole thing, and it's fine. But it's definitely a one and done for me. So that would probably be something. If it was ever on sale, like $5, I would probably pick it up just to give it a rewatch. But yeah, the a brand new price, that one's not a day one for me. But a lot of people love Eddie Murphy, and so if you're trying to get a lot of his films and just check out something new, it's worth a watch. I don't know if it's worth an own. Let's see. Do you like lenticular covers? They're just okay for me. So yeah, I don't with lenticulars. I'm not big on them. Like I don't get excited for them. Like I get more excited for like a nice big premium box set, a nice package, like any of the imprint stuff, like those box sets they come in for all that. I get excited for that. But with the lenticulars, I think they're fine, and I don't own too many of them. I own now the Never Ending Story. I think that's sharp, and then I have two of the Leons in that Manta lab. Oh, it's over there. The big Leon box there inside is three films, three steel books, and they're in slip boxes. Two of those slip boxes are lenticulars. And I think those are super sharp because it's one of my all-time favorite movies. But other than that, like I think if I started like everybody started doing lenticular or I started getting a lot more of them, they wouldn't feel special anymore. So when I opened up Never Ending Story, that felt really special. And obviously when I opened up Leon, those also felt really special. But if that just started to become a standard or you started to see more of it like you do with steelbooks, I would be highly put off by it, I think, because then it's not special anymore. And then again, like to each their own. If you collect it, it's fine. But I would like to have options, I think, at that point. Let's Matthew says, it wasn't a new release, but I thought Fifth Element was a huge leap in quality. Nicely filmic. I only wish Star Wars had gotten the same treatment in 4K. Willow was disappointing and too expensive. Yeah. So I was like, if you were disappointed, like I liked Willow, but I was really disappointed by the price. Like the price was just asinine. It was kind of bullshit for what you got. Like we got nothing new, nothing special. You just got an upgrade in quality, and it's a slight up. It's not a huge jump. It's not a huge leap. So that price was ludicrous. That's why I pointed out the Tommy Boy prices. They're about like $25 right now for the 4Ks, and I think that is on point, and that's what Willow should have been. So I'm a little more than disappointed. I'm kind of mad over that whole thing, but I imported mine from France. That's where I got my Willow from. I like that version, and that was the other thing. And here in America, you could only get the Steelbook. Like that was the only option. In all the other countries, like and I don't think all of them, but everywhere else I was looking, a lot of places had the Steelbook and a slipcover version, and so being here in America, like on top of being price gouged, and I think all those were also cheaper because after importing it and VAT tax, I still came in a little bit cheaper than what the Steelbook was here. So yeah, being price gouged and being forced to buy that if you're a fan of the movie, you were wanting to get it and you wanted the 4K. Yeah, everything about that just made me mad. But the actual quality of the film, it's fine. It's a good 4K, so I wasn't disappointed that route. The price and that we got nothing new kind of pissed me off. Uh, your picture showed night 90. When will that info come out, sir? Yes. All right, I will bring you some night 90 information. So what I have with this one is it's part of that rumor mill. I thought I had already pulled it up, so let me pull it up again. So I can't find like the solid info on this one other than it's a solid rumor. And where is this? And so what I found was everything I looked up. Let's see, let's go back to Dawn of the Discs because that was the easiest one to find. Was this right here? There we go. All right, so this is all I'm finding. So if you're just here for the night 90 stuff, I apologize for the clickbait. All right, so what do we got here? So night 90 is as all this information here is the same stuff that we already knew. Tom Savini made the announcement, and this is it. So um, it says, okay, a lot of the people have heard of the new release of Tom Savini's Night at 90. We've been working on a special features for it, started back in 2022. Well, Tom was at a convention recently and talked about it. It sounds like Sony is doing the director's cut of it. And he said it will be uncut, restored with a new opening going from black and white to color. Savini states that the movie used to be about 30% of what he envisioned, but now it's going to be more like 60%. He talks about it in his video, and you can check that out there. Here's a link to that video. So if you haven't seen that, let's see, I'll just where's this? Copy. And I can drop that in the chat if you haven't seen that. But don't stop watching me to go watch that. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's it. That's it. There's no solid like when it's coming out, like what's going on. They've been working on it since 2022, so there's a lot of good stuff with it, but it's a solid rumor, and not even sure if it's coming out in 2025. So it was worth talking about. But yeah, it was in my room. My rumor stuff is usually at the end, but I did kind of start at the beginning this time. So yes, night 90, sir. Yeah, that is something that that'll be great to revisit, and I'm really looking forward to it. So it's one that I didn't have in the collection, and I haven't seen in a while, and so now I'm not even going to try to look for it. I'm just going to wait for this. So yeah, I want to see 60% of what he originally envisioned with the new opening. I'm going to wait for that. We got that, but yes. Oh, and back to this, Matthew, I do agree with you. That Fifth Element was pretty top notch, and I have quite a few versions of them. And the French version that had a different transfer than the Sony version, so it is a little bit different. And a lot of people were pointing out that the studio, because they use the Studio Canal transfer, and the colors are like they're just a little bit more rich. So if you have the regular Sony version, if you got the UK Studio Canal, it's like it's impressive. It's impressive and just like it's not a quality jump, but it's like the colors just pop in a certain way. It's just it's different. But it's not like it's not worth if you don't love the film and you don't collect them all, it's not worth like spending 30 or $40 if you already have it. But if you can grab that Studio Canal for like a good price, I'd check it out. I like the artwork on the Studio Canal one too, a lot better than the Sony release we got here. 990 says, "I'm here for you, not just the 90s stuff, the 90s stuff." Okay, all right, brother, all right. I appreciate you. Thomas says, "Have you seen the rumor of somebody finding the lost initial copy of Return of the Living Dead?" Um, no. I heard there was some like rumor stuff about it, but I didn't know exactly what the rumor was. So there was like I know there was some lost stuff. But I thought it was I didn't think it was like I didn't think it was like the return. I thought it was like return 3 or return 2. Like I didn't think it was like the first one. So no, I was like, I kind of did. How about that? Kind of did. We got that. I feel like Night 90 has tunnel vision. Yeah, yeah. Got that. Let's see. We got that. Now here's something. Now this wasn't. This isn't new. I mean, it's coming out new, but the actual transfer and the release is not new. And so this is the conversation that I mentioned earlier, where I've seen a lot of people talking about this. So this seems to be another hot button issue, and I think that it's gonna not really implode, but I think it's gonna cause collectors and people to just kind of hold off and not spend their money. And it's also been a conversation that's been going on for at least a year, maybe 2 now, and it is the putting out a film and then within a short amount of time putting out the same film on, a steelbook or putting out a Blu-ray and then putting out the 4K shortly afterwards, and you have now this smaller collector community, and so it does feel like price gouging. Like before when they would do that type of stuff and you had like the entire mass market, like all right, so then it's just in general they're re-releasing it, it's got a big fan base. If you like it, you like it. You don't. But now that it's just back to this collector market where we're buying it, then if you just picked up Blade on 4K and you were a steelbook guy and you had picked it up because you really wanted the movie, but now there's a steelbook out and it's coming out. So that's that conversation of the double dipping, and it feels a little like cash grab, and it just sucks. It just kind of sucks. Now I get why sometimes it happens, but like with Blade, why didn't this have the steelbook back then? And I was like, and I get it. I mean, I understand the real reason. At the end of the day, it's money. It's so the studios can make more money. It's just they have the numbers and the figures, and the people that are buying Blade on 4K and they're gonna buy this steelbook, you're not usually going to find new people buying this for the very first time. You're going to get your collectors, you're going to get your people that have bought this a million times on every single different format. And so that's where I was just like, this one kind of hit me, where some of the rest I'm like, I can see why it's, maybe the reasoning behind it, and maybe defend the studios a little bit more. This one, absolutely not. I think this one is just kind of the same thing. If you love steelbooks, but you had picked up the Blu-ray and remember the 4K, and now I didn't. I haven't picked it up yet. I haven't upgraded because I'm honestly me. I'm waiting for an entire trilogy box set to come out. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But to see another release of Blade in the steelbook, I'm not into it. I think the art is fine. If you're a steelbook collector, it might be fine. This one doesn't even knock my socks off. It doesn't wow me. So even if this was like, and Blade probably makes my top 100 favorite films, like it probably does, but it's one that I wouldn't like. If this was the only option, I wouldn't care. I would just keep my Blu-ray and be fine with it. So yeah, that's another one that just kind of, it wasn't really a gut punch, but it was just kind of like, oh, cool. So yeah, I was like, if you like steelbooks, you haven't picked it up yet, that's something you want to grab. I totally get it. But for me, it just kind of we just got the regular 4K regular edition not that long ago, I feel. Oh yeah, it was Return 3. Okay, I thought it was something like that. Let's see. Phil, hey brother, hey. There's 44 people in here. Smash the like button. Oh, I appreciate that. I never remember to do anything like that, but yeah, I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Andrew says, I pre-ordered Inglorious Bastards on 4K from Arrow. Do you think that we'll see any improvements with the release from the previous version? Many thanks. I don't know. I mean, there's a potential because it was just the way it was shot and how long it was. It depends on the source material. I mean, it wasn't filmed that long ago, so I can't imagine there's like a ton of degradation or problems with possible film. But yeah, I mean, if it depends on how they restore it. If they throw it through the AI and they do the scrubbing and stuff that people complain about, potentially it could be horrible. But I also think that because it's a Tarantino thing, I suspect it's gonna look top notch. Like it's one of those things where it's like it could go either way. I'm hoping for the best. I don't really have a dog in the fight. I don't have any like previous, like we haven't gotten any. Like I don't have any Tarantino films on 4K, so nothing to even compare to. So it's not even like you can have that Cameron conversation where some people like it, some people don't like it. For me, what I have noticed that I've not loved on the new 4K transfers. And so with this one, I think we're not going to have that issue, but it always could because there's the scenes that are shot like especially when they go in the downstairs and they're having that whole conversation inside and it's kind of dark when they do stuff on 4K and then they up everything, a lot of times you'll get some film grain. But then when they amp it up and then they don't remove the film grain first because there's a process where they can remove the film grain, then they restore the film, digitize it, smooth it, do whatever they got to do to kind of upscale the film, and then they relayer the film grain on top. That usually has decent results. But when they don't and they just kind of wash the whole film, a lot of times you'll get the film grain and then you'll get like big pockets like where you have like a little pocket in the screen and it'll be like a bunch of film grain but then it'll be bigger particles. And so I was like, I don't know what that's called, I don't know the reason for it, but it's just something I noticed. Like it was on the what was it, Stand By Me. Stand By Me is a beautiful transfer. I think it's a great disc, but there's one scene like off in the distance and it's like in the sky where there's like a good section of the sky in between the clouds where it's some heavy, thicker dots and film grain. So it's not like smoothed out or nice, but I didn't have that same experience on the Blu-ray. And I didn't have that same experience like when I was a kid watching it on cable TV or VHS. And so hitting it on the 4K where I'm thinking the whole entire thing looks great. And then that's in the corner and it's like not just a little film grain, it's like a pocket. So it's like almost like somebody like put a picture up and it's bigger dots. And so it's just kind of distracting. So when that happens, I have not been a huge fan at all. And so like I don't suspect we're gonna have an issue with Inglorious Bastards, but like that's one where I would be like, I could see it like in that scene, like when they're downstairs, they're all sitting at the table and they're talking and that whole thing in the background. I could see some film grain there. But if they do that process where they remove the film grain first, I think it'd be pretty solid. What do we got? Admiral Wackass. Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, yo. Hey, brother. Is there a better bad guy name than Deacon Frost? Blade? No, no, it's so good. And my only gripe about Blade, I love Blade. I think it's one of the greatest, and I love the trilogy. And I know the third one is the weakest, like it is, but I just love Ryan Reynolds. So sue me, right? But in Blade, my only dilemma, and this was back in the 90s where whenever it came out, whenever I saw it, like early 2000s when Blade came out, and I had it on DVD. And so when I first saw that film, I absolutely loved it. I always loved it. But it's the CGI when it gets cut in half, and then the blood, you see the blood, and then like it just kind of starts forming back together, and he comes back. Like that whole CGI sequence, even back then on like an old crappy TV on a DVD player, like it was just like, oh, it's just crappy CGI. but it's also now if they went back and like retroactively fixed it, you know how like they remaster video games. I think I would kind of I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if they started doing that, but they're never going to. But if they did it, I wouldn't mind. But then at this point, at the same time, it's like also part of the charm of the film. So it's like it's one of those things. But yeah, Deacon Frost is badass. But yeah, that was my only gripe of that film. Always was that CGI. Brian says, "Isn't the Blade trilogy coming out this year too?" I'll wait for that. Yeah, see, that's what I kind of thought. I kind of thought there was like a rumor on that, and I'll double check now. But yeah, it's definitely something that I want for the whole trilogy. Let's see, what is this? Nope. Nope. There's a lot of different versions, but I'm not coming up with a trilogy right now. Let me just see. Blade trilogy 4K. Nah, I mean, there probably is. There probably is like a solid rumor or something, but like I'm not coming up with anything in the forums. Like right now, all it is talking about the regular 4K release of it, and all the different versions. Like everything, I just did a quick Google search. But yeah, that's kind of it was in the back of my mind. It's why I haven't pulled the trigger. It's just I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that trilogy. Let's see. Oh, what's up, Zaid? What's up, brother? Hey yo, what up, chat? What's up, brother? See, Zaid's a pretty cool dude. He's an artist. He draws. He makes comic books. He's a great dude. Great dude. Blue Corner. Del Toro was working on a 4K of Blade 2. I haven't seen any rumors on 3 though. Yeah, see that. Yeah, I would, and everyone kind of hates on 3, but I like it. I like it for everything that it is, and so I think that might be the one. I think we would get probably Blade 1, Blade 2 on 4K, and Blade 3 would probably come out eventually. I just kind of feel like either we would have got the box set already for just like them trying to get everybody to spend more money, or it's gonna be forever or maybe never for the third 4K. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Yeah, what's up, brother? Um, do you own second sight titles? Yes. They're behind me somewhere. Yeah, right there. Right there. So I have like five. I have five second sight titles. So I have Ginger Snaps, Dawn of the Dead, It Follows, and You're Next. So not five, four. So I have four titles, and then I didn't pick up the Hitcher, so that's one that's January February time. Like I'll probably try to grab the Hitcher from Second Sight. It's one that I never picked it up. Everybody was getting super excited about it, and so like I just kind of put it off. I put it off, and then it's been too long, and so they still have them now. So I was like, I'm gonna try to grab that set, but I know um, it's one that like people really really love, and I like it. Like it's one of those things that I think it's a good film, but like it's not. It doesn't make my top 25. It might not even. It doesn't make my top 100. I know that for a fact. Like I like the film a lot, so I think that's why I just kind of put it off. But yeah, the Hitcher's one I'll be adding. And then I wanted to get that Revenge, like bigger set, and Flight of the Navigator, but both of those are sold out, and so they're out of print. The eBay prices they're sitting at about $100 each, and then Flight of the Navigator almost always doesn't sit forever on eBay. Like it sits for a couple days and then it's gone. So I get the notification, but then I was like, I don't want to spend $100 on the film. But yeah, the Flight of the Navigator, because it's in a nice big box set, the chunky box set, and so that's the only way I have the Second Sight films. Cinema Dave, hello and happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too, brother. Uh, Ginger Snaps apps, yes. I love Ginger Snaps. I was like, but truthfully, that's the trilogy. But I only like have love for the first one. So let's see. Robert says, have you seen The Strain? It's epic. No, I have not seen The Strain. I'll add it to the list. Definitely add it to the list. And Zaid says, "I love that never ending story collection you got." Oh, brother, it is sweet. And I was like, I know you're a huge fan of the film, but like, yeah, that was a big purchase. But they still have them available, imprintfilms.com. And for me, it was 100%. Like, if I wasn't a movie collector already, just the nostalgia from loving this movie as a kid and having it, I would. That would be a purchase 100%. Even if I wasn't into collecting movies and all that stuff, 100%. So we got that. We talked about Blade, Tommy Boy. Let's see. We talked about Tommy Boy, but I didn't pull them up. So this is what it was. So we had, like I said, the this is the steel book that we had with the Blu-ray release. So there's nothing new. So there's probably no new special features, nothing extra there. But I think the price point garners that, and so that's why I was definitely pissed off over the Willow stuff. But this one here, I'd have no problem double dipping on it. I have the Blu-ray, but this is a day one purchase. But I'm going to get the standard edition. I don't need the steelbook on that. $32 listed for the steelbook for the 4K. I think that's a fair price. I really do. And then obviously when this comes out, it's going to be a little bit less. So you're probably looking at like maybe the $28 price range for that. And I think that's 100% fair. Let's see. Did I share this? Oh, I'm sitting here talking all about it. I never shared it. So yeah, I think this is 100% fair. So this is what this is, and that was the exact same thing we got for the Blu-ray Steelbook. So yeah, nothing new. If you're a Steelbook collector, I think that's kind of frustrating because then you have the Blu-ray and then you see these out in the wild. There's going to be just maybe one little like marking on the spine that'll tell you the difference if it's a 4K or a Steelbook. So it is one of those things where it's just that's a nitpick thing. But honestly, I think for the price, I think it's pretty solid. But then this version here, and it's the same artwork that we got all around as well. Let's see. This is the one that I have on pre-order. Let's see. This one. So it's the same artwork, and it's what we got over here. So same stuff. And I like it. I don't know if I would care if there was new artwork, if I'd get super excited. I'm excited for the film. This is one of the ones that I love it. It probably makes my top 25 favorite comedy films of all time. It easily makes my top 100 favorite films of all time. And so this was a day one purchase no matter what. But then, there's always that conversation like you don't always need the big premium set. Like this makes my top 100 favorite films of all time and I don't need the premium set. I will happily grab that 4K, put it on the shelf with all my other 4Ks and just be fine with it. But yeah, that one for the price that what was it? 25.99. I think, and again, when it comes out, it might be a couple dollars less. But yeah, $26 for something. And we're not getting anything new other than just the 4K, and it's probably just an upscale. It's probably not even a redo or a remaster. Yeah, I know. I probably shared it. I thought I shared it, and I was talking about it anyway. But yeah, it wasn't. I saw Neverending Story 100 times on VHS when I was a kid, and I love it. Yeah, it's a great film. Huge nostalgia for that one. Matthew says German cut or US cut of Neverending Story. I've never seen anything but the VHS and the US cut. So the German cut is longer and it doesn't have the same soundtrack. So you're not getting the same music and the stuff that you're used to and familiar with, but then it's longer. And so the reasoning apparently they cut the American version as the people that were involved in it. They said that for the American audience, they needed it for pacing purposes because the American audience was bored and they couldn't deal with it. And so they cut it out. And so just the difference is some of the scenes are longer. And so it does add to the length of the film, but then it does each scene that it was longer, it just adds to it. It doesn't like, I don't think it like adds so much to the film where it changes it or it makes it a ton better. So I was like, I'm just used to watching the American version. So even though I watched the German version, I think it's okay. I don't think I need to keep rewatching it or revisiting it. Like with Legend, I'll watch that movie. I'll watch the director's cut, the theatrical version. And I'll just flip back and forth. Like it doesn't matter to me. I love the film so much. Like I'll watch either version. It really doesn't matter. But that one, I think I'm just gonna stick with the US version because it's what I grew up with, it's what I know, it's what I'm happy with. But I enjoyed the experience and I enjoyed seeing that stuff because when the Americans they cut the film, they actually cut it. So then when they restored that Blu-ray, they had to like take a different source to then add those scenes back in and kind of remaster it back when they remastered the Blu-ray. So the German version, it was not really a miracle, but it was just lucky that they had that other source because apparently when they cut the American version, apparently they threw those pieces away or lost them or whatever. Thomas DiCarlo, Vinegar Syndrome subscription thoughts. I don't have a ton of Vinegar Syndrome stuff. So if you love the Vinegar Syndrome stuff, then the subscription makes sense. But the thing is, it really just depends on oh yeah, Tommy Boy is a must. It depends on if your love for those like schlocky films. So like we talk about all the time, Saturday afternoon films. If there's like the films that most people don't love, but you just really get into, yeah, for sure, do it. You're gonna save money. You're gonna get those releases. You're gonna get them sent to you. You don't have to worry about things going out of print. But the thing is, for me with it, I don't do it because I have a very small number of Vinegar Syndrome titles. And the few times that I was like, oh, I love the artwork, I'm just going to check this out. I'm like, this is a one and done. And as cheesy or crappy as it might be, and I got to chuckle out of it, I didn't need to own it. And that it's one of those things. And so I just feel like it's great if you're really into all those types of movies. And it's like there's some people that really are, but for like that Vinegar Syndrome, like I have like some of the VSUs. I don't have all of them. I have some of them. I didn't pick up Congo. And then like Hell Comes to Frogtown is like one of my all-time favorites. I got Tammy and the T-Rex. I got that one. I've got a couple of them. I got Thriller, A Cruel Picture, but like that's just like a crazy cult classic, and I have it because it was like a banned film for like the longest time, and it's like super taboo, and I've only seen it a couple times, and it's just like it's a super hard watch, but I have it because you couldn't have it before. Like it was literally a banned film and it was taboo. It's just like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. At one time that was like a super banned film and taboo, and like nobody, they didn't want you to own it. And so it's like having it's kind of a piece of history. And so that's why I have that one. But like other than that, like right behind me, that one little shelf right there, that that whole section is my entire Vinegar Syndrome section, and the one on the end is the Little Darlings from Cinematograph. So it's not even all Vinegar Syndrome. So yeah, I'm not the biggest Vinegar Syndrome guy. I have a few of my favorites, and there's some cult classics that if they ever got put on Vinegar Syndrome, 100% day one. But like I said, I completely passed on Congo. I'm not super heavy into it, but I think they knock it out of the park with the artwork. I think their presentation, their releases, I think everything they do is just top notch. It's just most of those films are really not for me. I'm more of like the 70s cinema guy and into that. So it's like I'm like gung ho 100% on imprint films. Huge fanboy, always have been. And but most of those films when I talk about them, like everyone's like, "Oh, I hated it," or "Oh, that was boring," or "Oh, I don't like 70s cinema." And I mean, they don't have just 70s cinema, but there was like a lot of the ones that I had picked up were 70s cinema. And so it's just that's where I lie with my obscure collection. So Vinegar Syndrome, I think it's fine. The subscription service, I didn't do it, but I know I have a friend that I was talking to. He's 100% into it, and I don't know if it's like he's into spending money or if it's just that he was just super into those movies. But let's see, you're gonna have to start making this a 2-hour show. We're pretty good at getting you off topic. Oh yeah, I'm horrible at that. I'm horrible at that, and you guys are good at it. Artek's scene does not need to be longer. Yeah, Jesus, yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't need to be longer. The US soundtrack is my childhood. Oh, 100%, 100%. Yeah, so I stick with the US version. I'm glad to have the German cut. I really am. I like everything they did with it, but yeah, I'm happy with that. I love the Vinegar Syndrome titles I get, but no way in hell would I ever get the subscription. Just way too many movies. I would never give a single chance. Yeah, yeah. There's that. There's the one like the one and done aspect. like that's fine. And then what do you do with it after the fact? But then there's a ton of movies too. I was like, that's completely not for me. But if they send it to me in the mail, I'm like, I gotta open it, I gotta watch it, and it's like, and I'm like, oh, I hated this. It's just like, yeah, I never did the subscription service, and even if like one of my favorites, like if Imprint did a subscription service, I wouldn't get everything. Like Blair Witch Project, have never been a big fan of it. I've watched it twice, so I tried to give it a second chance. And then when it came out, I haven't watched it as an adult. Like I haven't watched it recently, but I never got into it. I never cared for it, and so they released that. And that one, I didn't feel I needed, and I wouldn't got like so if I was like on a subscription service where I was just getting every single thing, I would have been like, no, I don't need that. So yeah, I don't think there's probably no company like at all that I would probably want to do the subscription service unless it was like the like somehow or other I just loved every single movie they put out. Matthew, let's see, Marauder, he just did Metropolis for his new own version with rock music. Oh, that sounds pretty good. So, well, it sounds interesting. Sound definitely sounds interesting. I'll check that out. Let's see. Admiral says, Gregorio Moroder rules. Can't go wrong there. You didn't jump off that Congo train for some reason. That one stuck with me. Nah, man. I was like, I. That was the thing is I was trying when it got announced. I got a little excited when it got announced, but then as I was trying to remember, I've never had it in the collection. I liked it back then, but I was trying to remember. I liked the book. I didn't like the movie. I think the movie was fine. I always forget Tim Curry was in it. So as people are talking about it, like I know Brian did a video and I think he's done two videos talking about it. And both times he mentioned Tim Curry. And by the second video, when he was talking about like actually getting the film, I had already forgotten Tim Curry was in the film again. He's one of my all-time favorites. But like, yeah, I was like, it's like, not for me. Yeah, so I was like, maybe if I found it on like DVD or Blu-ray, I'd pick it up at that point. But I don't have Congo in the collection. I haven't revisited it since probably the early 2000s because I know I watched it when it first came out, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine then. But then a little bit older, I remember I had like just graduated high school and I had rented it, and I just that second watch, I just was kind of like, eh. And it took me a while because I hadn't seen it in so long. I got kind of excited. I'm like, oh, we're getting some early 2000s stuff. We're getting 90s stuff. We're getting so much stuff that we hadn't had before. And so I got excited. And then it was a VSU set, so it was one of those things. I amped myself up, and then when I actually reflected on the whole thing, I'm like, I don't really think I like the movie. Yeah, wasn't for me. Let's see. I never cared about the Blair Witch Project. Yeah, I never got into it. I saw Young Guns 1 and 2. So I had never seen the second one still. I have the first one, and I think that's great. I just haven't seen the second one yet. When I was a kid, and I think it traumatized me for some reason. Really? I was like, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, like obviously everybody has their own thing and what it could do, but I was like, yeah, those types of movies when I was a kid, I couldn't get enough of them. Couldn't get enough of those movies. Rudely 77 says, speaking of nostalgic, I really liked the Young Guns Steelbook and its content. I enjoy your channel. Let's see. Young Guns and content. I enjoy your channel. Oh, thanks, brother. Thanks, brother. Yeah, the Young Guns Steelbook. That's pretty sharp. Like I said, I'm not really collecting steelbooks anymore, but yeah, some of that steelbook art is pretty sharp, and that one I think I remember was pretty good. Where to pull that one up? Got that. They got shot full of holes at the end. The hero got shot full for holes. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But I'm just like, I couldn't get enough of that stuff. I'm one that will root for the bad guy. I like it. I'm in. So I don't know. I couldn't. It wouldn't bother me. I guess it wouldn't bother me. I could see where you're coming from. I could see where you're coming from. So I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying like I'm a guy that could root for the bad guy. Not always, but sometimes. Let's see. So yeah, we got that. So then the next rumor we have. So we have Dark City. We talked about that. Problem Child. Oh, okay. So Problem Child 1 and 2. I don't have those pulled up. Those are another thing. So those are solid rumors coming from Dawn of the Discs. I saw those, but I can't find any like forum stuff for it. And so that one, I literally just picked up the Blu-ray from Problem Child this year. And while I think it's good, I don't think like I didn't think like the 4K coming out now, I don't think is a day one purchase for me. But if they put them together as it was like a little box set thing, I would, because I don't have the second one. So I might actually end up picking up, depending on the price. Like if these are like $30 or $40 in that closer range, no. Because I was like, I can't tell you the last time I saw Problem Child 2, but Problem Child 1, like I said, I hadn't seen it in so long. I was just getting the itch. I picked it up last year or this year. I picked it up this year. I picked it up just like maybe 6 or 7 months ago. So it's very new into my collection. And I hadn't seen it in 20, maybe closer to 25 years. I hadn't seen it, maybe even 30 years. Because I remember like I was a kid when I was watching that movie. And so, yeah, so it's cool that they're coming out. I'm glad they're coming out, but unfortunately, I just picked up the Blu-ray, so it's one of those things. Like if I hadn't picked up the Blu-ray, it probably would have been a day one, and it would have been another one of those like nostalgia things. Because on the rewatch, I think it's okay. I'm glad to have it in the collection, and I'm glad that I have the option to be able to watch it. But yeah, I don't need it on 4K just because I just picked it up. So that's a solid rumor. But then this one here, let's see what do we got. Ghost Ship on 4K. Now I've almost picked up that Blu-ray a bunch of times, and I didn't pull the trigger on it. I have it on VHS. I might have. Oh, I have it on DVD. I have the DVD lenticular, and it's like all banged up and beat up. So that I'm going to send off to the thrift store when this comes out. I'll probably pick up the 4K finally, because I never picked up the Blu-ray. And that one, it's a good film. It's fine, but it's like a nice Saturday afternoon film. But like the best scene of that entire movie, Ghost Ship, is the opening with the wire chops them up. That's the coolest thing. But the rest of the movie is okay at that point. So it's just like that's also why I never really upgraded. But that's a solid rumor. Maybe not a day one, but definitely picking it up in 2025 if it comes out. And this one here, Bring It On. And we have some artwork. So I actually have the forum artwork here, but I lost it. Here it is. We got the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. Here it is. Bring It On. So it's the same artwork, but somehow or other, I think the presentation in the Shout Factory or Shout Select they did here, I think it was just a little bit sharper. So we got this. So this is the rumor coming out of Shout. There's no like solid stuff, but I mean this is a really good image coming out of here, and I trust it. March for its 25th anniversary. More details coming soon. So looking forward to it. This is a movie that when it came out, I didn't really get into it, but I have daughters, and so like my oldest is in her 20s, my youngest is 8, and so this is a movie that I ended up liking more. And so I have a lot of guilty pleasure movies that, usually, fall into this kind of category where when I was growing up, I just kind of just always chalk these up to like chick flicks or not really for me, or maybe like a one and done or a date night movie kind of thing. But since I had daughters, a lot more of these movies are real guilty pleasures for me because as they're getting older and some of the movies are, they're growing out of them, I find myself still watching them. So yeah, this one here, it's the same art. So we have that, but just the presentation they did in for Shout Select with the black on the top there. I don't know. I like it. I think it just enough different where it's noticeable, and so that's going to be a day one pickup for me. I've had this one in the collection for a long time, and yeah, it's going to be a nice upgrade. But I think my older daughters, they still watch it, but then my youngest, I don't think she's watched this one yet. It's PG-13, sex-related material. Yeah, so sex-related material is the stuff that we just keep her away from now, and I just always chalk it up to that's inappropriate. We're not watching it, and so she's not there yet. She just turned 8, so obviously 13 we'll start into that stuff. But yeah, this is one that I've enjoyed over the years, so that's going to be a day one pickup for sure. Got that. And then, let's see, Captain Horror. Super late today, but happy I got to catch this before and ended. Good morning. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Yeah, no worries, no worries. I mean, you could always watch it on the back end, but I always appreciate you being here. But we went long. We've been going long recently. More people have been showing up. It's been easy to just kind of talk to everybody, and so it's been harder to talk about the movies, which is why we're here. But I'm glad. I'm glad. I love the experience. I love connecting with you guys, and yeah, that's it. But we knocked it out. So it's been right about, yeah. I think you're right, Thomas. I think we're gonna have to maybe make this a 2 hour show because that's kind of it makes sense. If I just went gung ho on this is what's coming out and I didn't get to talk to you guys, what's the point? So I'll extend the show. I liked doing the hour because family time's fine. Like we can maneuver family time, but also like on the rewatchability. Like if somebody didn't catch it live, but they're watching this on Monday, I noticed that like people enjoy they enjoy those hours because maybe like their lunch break or whatever. So that's kind of why I was doing it. So then this is what I want. I got a lot of stuff that I'm working on this week. I got a video talking about some 4K stuff. I got a video coming out talking about some VHS stuff, and then obviously the homebrew. We're working on that. That video should be out tomorrow, if not Monday. So like I got some editing and stuff to work with it, and like I said, the camera. I don't know. It kind of screwed me up yesterday. So we got that. So I've got some things that I'm watching, but then this was the conversation that it comes up every now and again, and it's the getting rid of your stuff and when you upgrade. But then this time of year, I always go through, and that's why I have this like the giant pile of all my DVDs while I'm going through them is what am I keeping, what am I upgrading, and what am I getting rid of? But these ones came up because talking about the Superman stuff. Now these have been in my collection pretty much since they came out, and this one specifically because it was like one of the first 4Ks when this came out, there wasn't a ton of 4K movies, and so I grabbed it. But I've never liked this film, so we're rewatching these because my daughter watched the Superman trailer. She's super into it. I'm kind of on the fence. But then as we went into that, she get in the Superman bug. So then she pulled these out of the closet, and these have not been revisited since they came out because I just have never really been a fan. So she wants to watch these. So we're going to marathon these tomorrow. But the plan is, because I don't think she's going to love them, the plan is these are getting sent off to the used bookstore. I'm going to trade these in. I just never was a fan. I was never a fan. Now the Justice League, uh, I didn't hate it, but like these big giant ensemble movies, I never really get into. I do like the single, give me a Superman film, give me a character film, and then I get the point of doing these big ensemble films, but just the way they were trying to build these universes, I don't know. It just seemed like, and then each film was getting longer and longer. Like you sit down, it's like now it's like 3 hours to watch one of these films. It's one of those things. So this is our Sunday plan, but I think the ultimate goal is these are going out of the collection. And then today I have some things that I gotta watch, but this is also in the Saturday afternoon. So I was watching this one. I talked about this earlier. Sure Thing. That's one I highly recommend. Now this one here I just picked up in my sale haul for a Christmas sale from Arrow Video. So this is something that I haven't seen since I was a kid, and so revisiting this today. That's my other Saturday afternoon watch. So that's what I'm doing. And there's one other thing here. Okay, so this is what it is. So in January, and we have some stuff. So I set aside, I have like set aside 10, but I might do more. So in starting in January, in like the middle of the month, whatever Saturday stream that is, we're gonna do giveaway. So we're gonna do a giveaway for a member, and then because I was doing originally, I was doing it so some members got stuff, but then members come and go, and it didn't seem like fair as I was doing that. Like we would do we'd do the drawing. So I'd put the names in the little generator thing and it would spit out the winner, and then I would just send them something. So now we're going to do it live, and we'll just do one for whatever the current members are, and then we'll just send them something. It'll be like a mug for one and then a t-shirt or something for the other from the store. And the way it works is I set aside 10 mugs and I think like 5 shirts or something. I set that aside, and so that's all paid for 100% by me. And if you win, I just send you a code, and then you get the code. You literally like it takes you to my store, and then you pick that item. That item is 100% free. You pick the size, the color, you put your stuff in, and then free shipping on the whole thing. So then there's no exchange of information, and I just thought that was really neat. So we're gonna start doing that in January. And like once a month. Once a month, we'll do a giveaway. We'll give away 2 things, probably be a mug and a shirt, one for the members, and then one for you guys here that are in the chat. And we'll figure it out. I don't know how we'll do it. We'll do it at the end. We'll do it at the beginning. I don't know how it'll work because I understand that like not everybody stays from beginning to end. They watch. So I was like, I got to try to figure out a way to make it fair. So if you guys know a way to make it fair, let me know because I'm kind of new to that. But then these movies here, I think I want to give them away, but I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know what makes sense, but I had these. So this was a stupid purchase because I already had the film and I didn't get up and look and I didn't scan it in my phone. So I already talked about this. So this is something I have a second copy of. But then this, as I upgrade these, some of these films I could easily just take to the used bookstore. But that I see those eBay resellers there all the time. And so anything with it, like Arrow Video, they're scooping it up just to sell it on eBay. And I don't want that. I want a collector. I want somebody to get it. So I have these films. And honestly, I don't know if anybody would be interested in this stuff. But Career Opportunities, I think this is a fantastic one. This is a Kino Lorber one. And then First Man on the Moon is a Twilight film. So I have the indicator version of this one, but Twilight films, they're highly collectible. I don't know what this one's going for on eBay, but I do know that I felt that these ones here, if I just traded them at the used bookstore, they're just going to end up on eBay and somebody that really wanted them isn't going to get them. So I was like, maybe we'll do a giveaway. So let me know if you guys want me to do something like that. If not, I'll just dump them off at the used bookstore and if you guys don't really care. But I thought that would be something nice and we'll do that like middle of January. So I got that because as I'm like getting rid of some of my other movies, I might realize that there's other movies that you guys might like that are in that boutique label or are something that I think that, would just end up on eBay anyway. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, wow. I missed a lot. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Thomas says, bro, I don't know why, but I love Karate Kid 3. Karate Kid 3 is great. I mean, I like them all. I like them all. They're fine. But like, I don't know. It's like, I was like, I had this. I don't know, I'll do it another. I'll do it another day. But it's like it's one of those things. It's like kind of a hot button conversation. But I don't know. I'll talk about it another day. But anyway, Karate Kid 3, I think it's fine. I was like, there's a lot of the things in those trilogies where like the third one or the second one I like more than the first one, and I always get heat for it. So like Jaws, I think it's fine. I really do. Like I don't hate it. I don't love it. But like people really love it. And it just seems like out of nowhere, all of a sudden, like people really like it. I hear more now than I did my entire life how Jaws is like people's favorite film of all time. And I was like, if it is, cool. I'm not saying it's not, but it just seems like it just seems like it came out of nowhere because my whole life, like I didn't hear that. And I always heard that it was a good film, people liked it, but then now it's just like, wow, really? It's your favorite? But I like Jaws 2 more than I like Jaws 1. And I say that, and then it creates like a weird hot button thing where people are like, "You're crazy! Like, what's wrong with you?" Like, and it starts like a dumb argument. I'm just like, I like it. It's like, you like what you like. Like that's the issue. And I don't know if it was like because Jaws was, just kind of pushed into pretty much everybody. Like you didn't really have a choice. Like it was everywhere. Like even before the internet and all this stuff, like everybody knew Jaws. And I feel like I found Jaws 2 by myself. And so it's like nobody was really talking about it. I found it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And so I think maybe that's maybe why I like it more. But you don't know. Like I mean, everybody they're different. I was like, there's a few of the movies like Back to the Future 3. I love all the Back to the Futures. Like, don't get me wrong. I think they're solid trilogy. They're some of my absolute favorites. But the third one is my all-time favorite film. And it's like the Western. I joked for years, like, I don't have a lot of Westerns in my collection, but I joked for years that Back to the Future 3 was my all-time favorite Western. And so it's like, you like what you like, man. Let's see. The Culture Vultures. Hey, what's up? Yesterday, hold on. Yesterday, I purchased an imprint release of the TV show The Prisoners. It's a blind buy. Looking forward to checking it out. Are you familiar with The Prisoners? Is that ridiculously big giant set? Because like if it is, I'm vaguely familiar with it. But like that's a big set. If I'm thinking of the same thing, because like it was a lot of episodes there. It's like, or is it Imprint or is it like the Viavision line? Because Viavision owns Imprint. Let's see. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, no, I was thinking of Prisoner. Like, Prisoner is like this, like, crazy $500 TV series, but it's like 175 discs and it's all in a hard box set. So like, that's what I thought you were talking about. So The Prisoner, the complete series from 1967, that's not a bad price at all. It's a nice hard box. I love everything they do. So this one I'm not familiar with at all. So this is the one. I'll share the screen. Yeah, so this one I'm not familiar with it, but I'm like obviously I think very highly of Imprint, and yeah, this would be a no brainer for me to blind buy or check out. Yeah, I don't know anything about this one. Let's see, was this a British TV show? Is that what it was? Yeah, but I like what they did. Obviously big fan, but I love the artwork. You got three or what is it? 7 discs in 3 cases in a nice hard box. I don't think you can go wrong. But this is what I thought you were talking about when you said it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this right here." One, it's a ridiculous set, but it's an endeavor to try to watch all of it. 175 discs, uh, with a sound chip and a booklet. Like this is pretty ambitious, and it's $500. That's what I thought you were talking about, and it's this like crazy hard box set, and like, oh man, it's cool. But yeah, it's something I never got into either. But yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. Prisoner, the complete series. Got that. Uh, and quietly game says I really enjoyed Frogmen, a solid found footage film. So that's the one. So I was thinking about it. Everyone was talking about it, and they were like super excited. And so I thought about getting it, but then as soon as I started hearing it's a found footage film, I have been completely disappointed by all those found footage films. So I was like, they might be fine, just for whatever reason they're not for me. I didn't really get into Blair Witch, any of those Paranormal Activity films. I just couldn't get into them. And actually, I think the Paranormal Activity where they put the cat in it on YouTube, I think that's hilarious. But the movies themselves, I couldn't get into it. So yeah, I didn't check out Frogman. I was like, I'm not saying I won't. I was going to blind buy it, and then it's because everyone was talking about how great it was, and as soon as I found out it was a found footage, I kind of held off on it. So it's something I might check out eventually, but yeah, I haven't. We already talked about that. Let's see. Andrew says, "Have you seen The Searchers on 4K? I love westerns. What's your favorite western 4K?" So I don't have many westerns on 4K. I have 310 to Yuma. I like that, and the new one, not the I don't have the original. And then that new one with Kevin Costner, that's like the whatever that Horizon, whatever it is. I just picked it up, but then my wife went on deployment, so it's a long film, so she didn't want to watch it at the time when I got it, and so it's something I want to watch with her. So I haven't seen it yet, but I do have it on 4K, and I haven't. I'm waiting for her to come home from deployment, so she'll be home like April time. So like sometime after that is when I'll finally get to watch it, and then that's just I guess part one. So and that's like a 3 hour long movie. So I think those are the only westerns I have. I mean, I have to go through the collection, but I was like, I have a very small number of westerns, not that many. It's something I never got into, but I don't hate them. I liked Magnificent Seven. Um, I love the Hateful Eight. I like stuff in that time period. I like the stuff in that era. But yeah, specific like hardcore westerns, don't have a ton of them. I got Brimstone. That's kind of a harder watch movie with Dakota Fanning. I liked it though. It's a good one. There's a couple of them I'd have to go through. I have to like I probably have like a solid 10 westerns. I've got some of the Clint Eastwood classics, but like yeah, that's about it. I like McClintock. I think that's a great one. I don't have the 4K or anything. I just have the Olive Films release. I love that one, that John Wayne film. And we need the Pentagon Wars on 4K. Just me, maybe. I love that movie, especially haven't been in the army. Oh yeah, or haven't been in the army. Yeah. Well, yeah, I have to check that one out. I've never seen the Pentagon Wars. Never seen it. So I will add that to the list. That's a new one for me. Matthew says, I love the Leone films, the Dollars trilogy. Oh, that's pretty good. Once Upon a Time in the West, also pretty good. Um, I haven't watched Unforgiven in ages. I don't think I've ever owned Unforgiven. I think the last time I saw it was probably on television, just in terms of westerns. Yeah. Let's see. Robert says, for the first time in my life, I'm actually cataloging all my movies, and this is going to take a long time for me. How are you doing it? Because I did it. I did it through apps, and because like for the longest time, I just kind of had a memory of like, oh, I haven't seen this in a while, so I probably don't own it, and that worked out for a while until I started buying stuff that I already owned, and then I was using this one app. It's called iCollect, and that one was fine, but you pay for it once, you own the app, and then it just works. It's not that great. It works, but it takes a little bit more time, especially if you have a large collection. And then it's got some basic features, but the main thing is of having your films, being able to access them, and it's fine. But then I ended up paying for this CLZ app, which Brian showed me about that one. He told me about that one. He also made a great video about it. That's the one I've been using. It was $20 for the whole year. So it's a membership or a subscription service, which I absolutely hate. I think that's stupid. But for the ease and the benefits that I get, I think it's totally worth it. So that's one I've been using. Let's see. But yeah, the thing what I like about that one is you just scan all the barcodes and then you just keep scanning them and you put everything in. It's just a solid all around app. I like that one. And then it has tons of features. It's super fast. Matthew says, plus they're all old timey westerns, and the new westerns, like the remakes of 310 to Yuma, True Grit. Most remakes are I dislike except for these two. So I like the original True Grit, and I like the new one. I like the John Wayne one 100%. I think that one's the best, but I do like the new one. And I haven't seen the original 310 to Yuma in a long time, but I have the new one. I revisit it every maybe 2 or 3 years. Like it's not as like ever high on my list of rewatches, but I do get into it. And then at the time when I rewatch that, I kind of watch a few of the westerns. I do like a little western binge for like a weekend or whatever, and so I do that. But yeah, I was like, I see your point. I was like, I'm that way with most of the movies. Like a lot of the new modern films, I don't get into, and I'm just really stuck on some of the older stuff. And then most remakes, I've never been a fan of. But I was like, I honestly, and it's probably because those are the ones I saw first. I saw the True Grit, the first one, or the remake, the first time I ever saw it, and then same thing, 310 to Yuma. The very first time I saw it was the remake. What is that Bruce Lee box set right over your right shoulder? Oh, that is the Bruce Lee Criterion collection. So that entire shelf back there with all with that Bruce Lee set, that entire shelf is Criterion section. So that's where I keep all my Criterions, and that's it's like 5 discs. This is a wonderful set, and so that's something that I picked it up a few years ago during the half off, you know, Barnes and Noble deal, and yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one, but it comes in that like digi pack, and I'm not a big fan. But what else are you gonna do with that big set? Let's see. If they don't stay until the end, they're not the real ones. Very true. So yeah, maybe we'll start it that way. Let's see, we got that. Dibs on career opportunities. Nice. We care. Yes. Um, I like Jaws, but it's not my favorite movie by any means. Oh, right. Yeah, that's the thing. I like it, but I was like very recently, especially in this like YouTube community, I've heard that tons of people are like, "Oh my god, I love Jaws. It's my favorite movie of all time," and I'm just like, okay. It's true, brother. Entertainment is subjective. You like what you like, and that's the way. It is. It is what it is. Matthew says, I'm looking for Harryhausen on 4K, but I only have the Sinbad collection from Indicator, plus Jason and the Argonauts from Viavision, and all the Blu-rays. Yeah, me too. I have the Indicator. I have the Indicator stuff. I was like, those are beautiful. I like those. And but yeah, 4K would be a welcome addition. Like, and obviously probably rights issues, but I would love like a big Ray Harryhausen collection. But the one missed opportunity I think with that, just speaking of that whole thing, is last year we got or this year it's still like a few days away from being last year. But in 2024, we got the Clash of the Titans, and we got that Arrow video. It's back there on that wall there. We got the Clash of the Titans Arrow video box set, but that was the new one. The new one. I honestly thought, and without even thinking, I just grabbed. I saw Clash. I was like, I got it. Everyone's talking about it. I got to get it. I was in Barnes and Noble. I get home. It didn't have the original, and I was like, it's like that's one I want the original Clash of the Titans on 4K and with some like nice artwork. Now we've gotten different artwork over the years, but there was some like really cool artwork with that. Let me see. Let me see what they got. With Clash of the Titans, that original one, it's just for me perfect Saturday afternoon film. I've watched it, a ton growing up, but yeah, it's something that it was definitely like a staple back then. It was a staple, and so let's see, Blu-ray. The the versions of the Blu-ray covers were unique. Let's see, of the Titans. And I was like, for me, I was like, there's some really good ones. Like Harryhausen was just top notch, some good ones. But I think out of all of them, Clash is probably one of my favorite Harryhausen ones. So, Sinbad's up there. I like that one. What was the other one? 100 million years BC. That one was good. It came from below the sea or beneath the sea. The one with the octopus, that's a good one. I like that one too. I have that on indicator. Yeah. So this here was the artwork we got for Clash of the Titans. But then let's see, there was some other artwork that just wasn't as good. Titans movie poster. Let's see, we got the Clash of Titans original movie poster. Okay. So you have two screens here. Let's see. So this is what we got on the, and I've seen like there was like some crappier art too. I saw, I think maybe like there was like a DVD release of it somewhere. So this is what I remember when I was a kid. Was like I remember seeing that. And so I was like, I don't know where I saw it, if it was like in the video rental store or whatever. And so that right there for me, it was just top notch. But then when we got the Blu-ray, this is what we got, which I thought was fine at the time. But now, like, I want them to put it out. I want this movie to come to, at least a premium, nice set from one of those companies, or like a 4K would be 100% welcome. But when I say a nice set, like if it's just a Blu-ray, if there's a 2K or a 4K scan of of a restoration or something, I'll take it. But give me a 4K, and this art, I don't like it anymore. I think it was fine when it came out, but like now that I'm looking at it, I want that old art. So this is what we got on the Blu-ray. That's what I have, but I have seen other art that's not even as good as this. And yeah, give me that first one that I saw. But this is okay, but that's what we had for the Blu-ray. So yeah, that's what I thought we were getting, and so that's why I bought that set. And so like the newer remakes, I think they're fine. I enjoy those films, but I like the original Clash. I have all the nostalgia watching it when I was a kid. Let's see. We got Thomas says Back to Future 3 is my favorite too. I have it on 3 different laser discs. Oh, see that I got to start getting into some laser discs, brother. I've been looking at. I've got so much stuff in my Amazon wish list now, and then like I've got like eBay now. I've got like the save for later section, tons of like stuff from Leon, and I've got Dracula in there. I got Bram Stoker's Dracula, all like laser discs and stuff I didn't have yet. So yeah, that's it. 2025. I'm going to add laser disc. I think I got to find a player too. Let's see. Robert says near the end of Frogman gets stupid pixie. Gets a stupid pixie. Nice. Let's see. I don't know why it jumped way back to those old messages. Let's see. Yeah, this is old messages. Oh yeah. I don't think I acknowledged that one. Blade did have both the standard and steelbook when the 4K was released. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, we're getting another 4K release on steelbook then. Let's Yeah, just it like went all the way back to the beginning of my messages. I don't know why I did that. All right. Clash of the Titans needs a 4K remaster. The original, I'm aware of the remake. Yeah. So the remakes are fine, man. Like the remakes are fine, but yeah, I want just like you. Give me a remaster of the 4K. Even if it's like I said, even if it's not a 4K disc and it's just a 4K remaster and it's on Blu-ray, give it to me. Give it to me. Let's see. Unforgiven is great. Yeah, it's like it is. I need to get it. I need to revisit it. Nope, just apps for me. Yeah, that's the way to go, man. It's the way to go. It's so much easier. And I was one that was like hard pressed. Like I don't want phones. I think it's stupid. I was all this electronics and I was like no. It's easy. It's so freaking easy. App scan. Use your camera to scan the barcode. It's the best thing in the entire world. I write it on a OneNote. Oh, okay, yeah, that works. That works. Oh, no apps for you. Just you write it on. Okay, that works. That works. Yeah, that's the thing. If I didn't have such a big collection, and I didn't have such issues, I also am horrible with passwords. Like worst. And like my wife always yells at me because I can't remember them for anything. And even if I've just changed them and then like tried to sign in like within minutes of changing it and then still couldn't sign in because it would say I forgot my password again. So I'm horrible with that. And so that's why I switched to the CLZ app because I got logged out like I got a new phone and I didn't have I wrote down the password and then when I went to put it in, like it didn't work and it just kept saying no. And so I was like, I'm just not doing this. So I got the CLZ, I rescanned the entire collection, but then I missed there's like a good like 200 to 300 VHS tapes that I got in this closet that I have stored away. So when the Christmas stuff goes back in there and they come out, I'll scan those in and put them back in the closet because I got stuff stored away for when we move. And so that's there, but the majority of the things I just rescanned. It took me a couple days, but it was so easy. But when I scanned them all on my original app, it was so slow. It took me about a week to scan everything. Um, let's see. I'm currently using CLV Movies. I love it. I have VHS, Laserdisc, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. Awesome, quick reference when I'm in the wild. Oh yeah, that was the best thing about it was being out in town, finding in the thrift store or whatever, and just pulling out the phone. I'm like, ah, do I have it? Do I need it? Like that is the thing. That is the thing. And it says, quietly game says, are you picking up Daylight 4K from Kino Lorber? That I might. It's probably not a day one. So I just like I've talked about this. I know you're new here today, but like I'm not a big disaster guy. So it's like disaster films, like they're one and done. Like I think they're fine. Like Dante's Peak, Twister. I think they're all fine. But I only watched them the one time, and I had never any idea to revisit them. And so Daylight kind of falls in that category for me, where it's like I feel it's like a disaster film, and it was like a one and done. So I've watched it twice in my life, and both times I thought was fine, but I kind of think it's a one and done. But it's a movie that my wife would really like, so I'm probably picking it up, just not a day one. So it's like, but I'm interested. Like I'm looking forward to seeing the 4K restoration and seeing that whole thing. And I think it will look sharp on the TV. And I haven't seen it in so long. Like it's going to be a nice revisit, but yeah, it's not a high priority for me. The only way it would be a day one is if there's literally like nothing else coming out that month, and I was like, oh, well, I might as well pick it up now. And so it's like one of those like things. If there's like a ton of if there's like a ton of great stuff coming out the month that comes out, it'll just get pushed off till later. But probably this year. His password is 1 2 3 4. Yeah, yes, it is. No, I was like, man, it's the password thing is horrible. And then like I'm also like one where I don't I don't know if I'm just old man stuck in my ways, but like all the face to open up your phone and the thumbprint and all that stuff. I was like, I don't want to put more of myself out there. And so like just to start the like before I started YouTube, I didn't have like all I didn't have Facebook, I didn't have like social media. It wasn't like I was completely against all of it. And I was even talking about like getting rid of my cell phone altogether because nobody texts me, nobody calls me. Like it's just my wife. And I was like, most of the time I don't see her messages anyway. So I was like, there's no point in having the phone. And then I started YouTube. And so then I upgraded my phone and I kind of kept it. And I started YouTube or not YouTube, but all the other social media. I started doing that. But yeah, I was like, I'm horrible with that. Thomas says, if there's anything I've learned today, 80s loves Vinegar Syndrome and definitely has Congo on 4K. Yeah. Let's see. I'm not crazy about war movies and westerns. So the both of those, and I like them both, but I mean, some I like more than others. But like with war movies, they're I feel they're the same as westerns. So like I get in a mood to watch a war movie, and I was in the military, but like I never saw war. Like I was on a ship, so I was like it's not one of those things. So I never, and I know there's like friends of mine that were in the army that actually saw real battle and stuff. And I had like a friend that was in the Marines that was like on the ground, like doing stuff. Like they don't watch war movies, and it's like I totally get it. I was like, you actually saw some of that stuff. I'm not even gonna even question it, but like so I don't have that thing with it. It's just even growing up, like I not never that they were one and done, but like they're good, they're pretty powerful, and like they kind of stick with you. And so like revisiting them, I don't revisit them often, but like when I go through like this kick, like I'll watch my war movies just like my westerns. Like I'll do like a binge marathon, or I'll watch a couple of them in like the same month in that same time period. Like I just watched Fury, so I was like, I did this thing and I was like, because I got the video coming out this week, because I already started it and everything, so I got that. But I spent the entire last year. I have 350 4K movies, and I watched every single one of them. And I did this entire thing. I spent an entire year for this one video coming out, and so I have quite a few of the war movies. And that was like the only time where like I spaced them out like because I was like I just can't get into like war movie after war movie because I was like some of them are pretty tragic and I was like you get like emotional when you watch them, like it's one of those things. So I do love them, but in general I watch I'll watch Saving Private Ryan, but then I'll watch Fury and like or I'll watch Midway like in the same short time span. I kind of get in like a mood to watch them. I love the surround sound, I love everything about it, and having the ones on 4K I think are top notch. But I can totally see your point. Like if you don't like them, you don't like them, you don't get into them, it's fine. But like I watch war movies and westerns more than I watch disaster films. Let's see, what do we got? Matthew says, I like the John Williams scored disaster films, but they aren't my favorites by any stretch. And the Irwin Allen produced ones. Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. Robert says, this right here is the only social media I have, YouTube. Yeah. I was like, it's just the way it is, man. It's the way it is. It's like, and I was like, I use the other stuff because I think you kind of have to. Like, you create this community. Like that's what we did here. We created a community. I get to know a lot of you. I talk to you guys regularly, whether it be here or in the comments or on social media. And some of you guys have even like got to me through DMs and like we have actual conversation. I built real strong friendships. So like that's a cool thing. But if I just did YouTube and I didn't do like the whole part of it, like part of the community, like I've got friends here, like Admiral Wackass, like we're friends. We've been friends for a long time, and like we talk, like we actually have like conversations, like DM each other, and he's busy, I'm busy, but like we're friends, and so like that's just it's a cool thing that I would have never had if I didn't do the other social media. So I think you got to kind of partly do it, but for the longest time, all I ever did was just watch YouTube, and I was like, I got to do my own. I got to do my own. Last password is my go-to password manager. Been using it for years. Yeah, I have been like the Google password manager. I've been using that, but it doesn't. I don't use the Google for everything. So like, there's some certain things I pay, and I use a certain browser for it on a certain computer because like this computer that I use here. And I was like, I did a video years ago. I did a live stream years ago when I had it, but like my credit card got hacked, and so like I was like all my stuff. Like I went to sign it, and it was just, and I thought it was just my fault or an update or something. And so it didn't dawn on me at first. I went to go check my emails, and like I was signed out of my emails. And I was just like, oh, maybe it was an update or maybe it was something stupid. It didn't dawn on me. Like somebody hacked my emails, they hacked into my stuff, and then they changed all my stuff. Then they got into like some of my credit cards, and then they got through the Best Buy one. Like some of the credit cards basically just gave them the middle finger and told them no. But then like the Best Buy one, they changed like everything. but then they tried to buy stuff, and it was just crazy because like they actually attempted to buy like tons of stuff like in the stores, like, and they tried to order it online, and they wouldn't send it because like somehow or other it red flagged them, and they were like, hey, this is not normal, and so they didn't let them buy any of the stuff, which is crazy. Because like when I got my PlayStation 5, they just brought it out to me. They didn't even check my ID. They just brought it out to me, and like because it was during COVID time, and so it's like, oh, that's crazy. But then they went a step further, and then they went to the store, and actually they bought stuff online, but they picked it up in store. But then in the store they actually asked for their ID, and so they got denied all those times. And then as far as I know, they never got arrested or anything else, and I was able to like get part of their name, but then nobody cared. So all I did was I changed everything. So now like I do all my bill pay, all my stuff like that, like on a separate computer. That's all I do, and I don't do anything else. But like here, like I'm on social media. I'm checking out stuff. I go to like I'm ordering stuff from France. Like I'm doing all kinds of stuff. So I do try to keep things separate now. But yeah, so it's like some of the stuff works in the Google app thing, but then some of the stuff I kind of have to kind of remember it. Uh, it's different to see war and watch it. It's romanticized. Oh, sure it is. Don't get me wrong. I love war movies more than most, but it's different. War just seems like every day more than it does in regular to a regular person. Oh, for sure, for sure. And it was like, and I never saw actual war. I was on a ship, and so I was like, I totally get your perspective because like seeing war movies that have to do with the Navy, and I was like, we did some of that stuff, but like I had a really good time out there. Like this is like you said, romanticized. Towering Inferno, Poseidon, Adventure, etc. Yeah, yeah, those are good. Those are good. But I was like rewatching them. That's all right. We got that. Let's see. Joe Douglow, or sorry, John Doe Juggalo. What's up, brother? Hope you're having a great Saturday and tour Christmas was awesome. Yeah, my Christmas was awesome. I hope yours was too, brother. Steven Sanders. I've gotten into horror westerns this year. That sounds awesome. There's a few really good ones. Well, let me put them in the comments. Let me know. I might check them out. Let's see. And what did you think about Civil War? I skipped that one. I skipped that one. It was getting all that weird buzz, and so I was just like, it doesn't seem like a me film. So it's something I might check out eventually, but it was definitely never a day one. But like all the weird conversation that comes with all those films, anything that's like politically charged, I stay away from initially because like I'm not a political person. I could care less. Like I just like movies, and so anytime a movie, even even if it is politically charged, I'll eventually see it. I just haven't got around to Civil War yet. So I've heard good things on both sides. Like people are like, "Oh, I love it. Oh, I hate it." So it's like, but overall, I hear it's a pretty decent film. Let's see where I saw that. Hell yeah, brother. Robert, I hate this, but I need to leave. Oh yeah, no problem, brother. No problem. I'm wrapping this up anyway. We're 2 hours and 22 minutes. This is like the longest one we've ever done. I have to go. I've been up for like 18 hours. I worked last night and I haven't been to bed yet. Oh yeah, no problem, no problem, brother. I didn't mean to go this long, but I was having a good time and I'm glad you were here. Appreciate you. Blue Corner. I was really surprised by Civil War. I really enjoyed it. All caps on the really. Like I said, I'll definitely check it out. But it was just one of those things that I got in the habit of staying away from politically charged stuff because you hear so much nonsense on all around about it, and then you watch it and you're like, this is whatever, or this is fine, or this is good, or this is not what I thought it was going to be. And it's happened a few times. Like there was that film that came out, I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically like they were rounding up all the conservatives and then they were hunting them. They were hunting them and they were going to kill them all, and all these rich people were like hunting these people on an island or something. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was called, but I remember when it came out, like everybody was like up in arms about this film, and I was just like, "Oh, that's weird." But then I watched it, and I was like, "It's pretty good." I don't have it, but I was like, I wouldn't mind rewatching it. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, it's one of those things. I usually just kind of wait till all the nonsense dies down. Let's see. There are action war movies that make war look cool and reflective war movies about how it's horrible. Some decidedly anti-war. Yeah, I was like, but I was like, obviously, like my all time favorite one that comes to mind, and like most people don't think of it as like a war film. It's Braveheart. So like in that film, it's highly romanticized, and like there's historians, there's tons of people that'll tell you that it's not historically accurate, and they definitely change stuff to make it a film. It's a phenomenal film, so it's a great one, and so it's one I love to go back to all the time. Yeah, take it easy, brother. Take it easy. Wackass says that's a good way to do it. Segregation of duties in infosec, whether it be the duties of the devices of personnel, is a good practice. Yeah. Wait, you're wrapping it up already? Yeah, I know. It's like almost 2.5 hours. I gotta end this, guys. I gotta end this. Not in politics myself. I just love life. Yeah, me too, brother. Me too. I love movies. I like to talk about it. Like I could care less. I care less about politics all around. I was like, it just, I just think my life hasn't changed. Like I'm 42 years old, and my life has pretty much been the same. Like sometimes I pay a little bit more for gas, sometimes I pay a little bit less for gas, but other than that, like my life has pretty much been the same. So to like get all angry and up in arms about it's not for me. Not for me. Some horror westerns. Ravenous. Oh, that is a good one. You know what? I have that, and I was like, it's been a little while since I revisited, but I have that on the Scream Factory. Put it out a few years ago, but I saw that when I was a kid. I worked at the video rental store, and I used to get these screener tapes from them, and Ravenous was one of them. And that's one that like I don't know anybody else who's really seen it, but I never also think of it as like a western because like it's it is like it totally is, but like yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Brimstone, that's a good one. Bone Tomahawk, that one I need to get in the collection. I liked it. I just haven't had it. And the Pale Door, I've never seen that one at all. So that one I might check out. But yeah, the first three, solid films. Solid films. Yeah, Ravenous is a good one. It's like creepy too, man. Oh, it's so good. Matthew says that the concept has been done a few times. I saw the version called "The Surviving the Game with Ice T." Yeah, "Surviving the Game with Ice T" is a great film. Really enjoyed it. And then I have that on DVD. I haven't picked up the Blu-ray yet, but I'm pretty sure I added it to my wish list. So I was like, I got it on Amazon. I'll get it eventually, probably this year. But yeah, that one I liked it. There was another version, basically that same thing. So I was like, I like "Surviving the Game" a lot. But it was the other one was just like that aspect of like it was specifically they were rich people were grabbing up conservatives, and like it created this weird political thing where surviving the game nobody ever cared. Like it was well-to-do or rich people getting homeless people, and nobody cared about that movie. And I remember seeing it back in the 90s. I think it was like on HBO or something. And so I was like, we had like we never paid for those cable TV services, but like HBO and Showtime, like they would do like a weekend free or a week free, and so they would do those like once in a blue moon to try to get people to get it. And so we would always like record everything we could, and so that was the first time I saw Surviving the Game. That's a good one. But then around that same time, there was a movie called Pest with John Leguizamo. It's basically the same thing. Like John Leguizamo's playing like a weird character, but it's saying there's like a rich dude that was going to pay him a ton of money, and he's just got to survive until the morning. And it's the same thing. So yeah, it's been done a million times, but I think Surviving the Game was the best one. Margot's Wee Scottish Garden. Hello, 80s maid. I agree with the Braveheart review. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Dude, Bone Tomahawk changed me. Yeah, that's a good one. That's probably why I don't have the film because it's good though. It's good. Some dude, nothing has really changed. Or same dude, nothing has really changed except people around me mad at who's on political power. Yeah, right. My life has never changed. We're all out here still struggling the same as we've always been since the 90s. Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, Bone Tomahawk and Zaffler's other stuff is one of my favorites of recent times. Oh, for sure, for sure. I could see that. Yeah, I got now. Now you guys talk about Bone Tomahawk. I got to get that. I'm going to add that to the cart like soon, like today probably. Final round with Lorenzo Lamas was similar. Also being hunted. Yeah, that one. Oh man, what happened to Lorenzo Lamas? Like he was like everywhere in like the late '90s, early. Oh man, it's like Lorenzo Lamas. That was just bringing back memories. What was that TV show he did? He used to ride a motorcycle. Oh man, that was a. I used to watch that all the time. There was nothing to watch. Let's see, IMDb. Let's see, Lorenzo Lamas. Lorenzo, man, that brings back so many memories. I have not seen anything with Lorenzo Lamas in it in probably 20 years. Um, oh, not true because I forget he's in Greece. So, um, let's see. I've seen Greece quite a bit. Um, what was that TV show? Did you guys get the name of it? I can't find it. He was in a TV show where he was riding a motorcycle or something. I'm pretty sure. Uh, let's see. Renegade. Yes, yes. I used to watch that show all the time. Oh, it was so fun. I mean, it was bad, but it was fun. It was fun bad. Bro, I remember trying to rent Pest Forever. Ended up finally renting it from Alfalfa Video across the street from Blockbuster. Oh man, it was fun. It was fun. I was like, and that was another one. I think it was like on cable that weekend or whatever. Let's see. I really wish they would put the whole James Bond set in 4K in the future. I mean, they're going to eventually. Just James Bond is a moneymaker for them. It just prints money. Even people that didn't grow up watching like those original ones, really get into James Bond. So it's definitely it's just like any of those other big brands like Star Wars. Like they're just going to keep putting it out. So it's coming eventually. But with that, I've always felt that they're just milking it, and so I've waited. And I have not been a fan of the new ones. So I've not really gotten into them. I watched like the first one or two of the newest ones, and that was that. For me, I grew up with the Pierce Brosnan ones. I grew up playing GoldenEye like on N64. So I was like, I was there, but 100% like without a doubt. And I was like, I enjoyed some of those Roger Moore ones, but Sean Connery 007 was like is where I lived and died. Like as a kid in the 80s, like in the early 90s too. I remember like I would watch those if they were on TV anytime. Like the Sean Connery ones were my all-time favorites. Let's see. Lorenzo Lamas is a legend. Yeah. Let's see. Someone's still collecting Blue Corner. I still collect Lorenzo Lamas movies from the 80s and 90s. Sadly, Germany is almost the only country that gives some love. Well, yeah, I was like, because I hadn't even thought about it until it was mentioned. So yeah, that's a wild one. I was like, I have to start trying to revisit some of those. I don't know if I'm going to start buying them, but I might start revisiting them. See, do you own any of the recent Cameron 4Ks? Yes, and that the controversial thing is, easy answer. I like them. So I was like, I know that there's tons of people that hate them and stuff. I like them. So I don't have the Abyss because I have it on VHS, and I don't think I like the movie. So so it's like I never got the Abyss 4K, and it's just because I'm not like a huge Alien guy, and there's like every time I've tried to watch the VHS, like I get easily distracted and like I don't know if I don't think bored is the right word, but if like anything happens, like anybody in the family needs something, like I find myself walking away from the film and like doing whatever and then just kind of not watching it. So that's why I don't have the Abyss, but I have True Lies. I have the Terminator. I have Terminator and I have Judgment Day. I have all those, and I like them. I like them. I think they're fine, but uh, when I first watched True Lies, I loved it. I thought it was pretty good. I wasn't seeing what everybody was seeing. I have my TV settings really low, so all the waxy faces and stuff. I didn't really have that problem. But then I also just watched the film. I'm not sitting there pausing it and trying to find problems. I'm just watching the film and enjoying it for what it is. I also sit like close to 15 feet away from my television. I have a 65-inch TV, and that's what a lot of people kind of forget. So like when I was a kid, I sold televisions, and so then in the big screen TV, like the rule of thumb was you're supposed to sit like anywhere between like like 12 and like 15 feet away for a certain size television. And then with 4K, when they came out, because they're just a crisper, clearer picture, you could sit a little bit closer, but you're still supposed to recommend it to be sitting further away. So I think like with like a 65-inch TV, it's recommended that you sit like a minimum 10 feet away. But then I've noticed like the further back I sit, like, cause I can, my dining room is like right in the same, like it's one giant room. So it's a dining room slash living room, and it's decent. So like about 20 feet away, I have my table. And so like as I'm sitting there eating dinner, I see the TV on some of those older films that people complain about. I think looks absolutely amazing. The closer I get, I start seeing some of the problems that people complain about. But on my sofa, which is about 15 feet away, like it's fine. And so like I like that. But I had adjusted some colors and some of the contrast for this other film because people were saying that it wasn't that good. So I was trying to like check it out for myself. And then on when I popped in True Lies, oh man, I noticed that like in the background and when he's going through the party on the windows, like there's some like green halo effect and haze, like definitely looking like some like AI something or something around it. And so I'll never not see that now, but I didn't see it in the beginning. And so I thought I had a pretty good experience. So I like the Canon 4Ks, and I've talked about it, like I was talking about earlier in the episode, is like the film grain itself. Like if there's nice tight film grain, it's fine. But like when you have like really big heavy film grain where it's like huge dots and stuff, I don't think anybody could really enjoy that. And so even if you're a person that loves film and loves film grain, like there's some movies that have like that heavy film grain, and like I prefer it wasn't there. And that's just me. But like the digital scrubbing and making everything smooth and giving you the waxy picture, I don't want that. But yeah, so I was like, I've had a pretty good time with those Cameron 4Ks, and I like them. I think they're pretty okay. Let's see. Wrong colors, DNR, fake news, overcooked, audio mixes. I wouldn't be surprised if it's all we got for the James Bond, unless they incur the expense to redo them. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, that is probably going to be the thing. I think you're going to not be happy with it. You know, that most people are going to complain, but in I think on like a streaming service, and that's what they're pushing all this stuff for. I think most of the average people that don't really get into movies are never going to care, and I think that's kind of the point. I think that's the focus of it. But yeah, you're probably right. KSSS, yo, Admiral. Oh, nice, happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday. There's that. Yeah, so that's it. Unless you guys have anything else, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. It's been 2 hours and 30 minutes. We've been going a real long time. It was a pleasure, and just like every Saturday. But yeah, if you want to get your shirts, your mug, all that stuff, the links are down below. The memberships are live on both here on YouTube, but also on the store website. If you do the membership through the store, we're doing, they got the same type of thing, posts and videos. But it's like, if you choose to do that one, there's some discounts on some of the merch and stuff. So I was like, you got all the options. We got that stuff. I don't usually self promote, but I'm doing it today. And with that, remember to watch a movie today, and I'll catch you guys next time.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Oh, don't give me a cat. That's fine.
To go now, goodbye.